Wait, I thought you were going to do the thing where you...
No, I'm not going to do that, Roland.
No, that's cool. Please do that.
No.
That should be tradition.
I'm starting. We start this game. This wonderful game. I should have put the title, I realized. The Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
You want to restart?
No, shut up. Okay, so we start Chapter 1, Encounters. The S is gone, but it's Encounters. We start with the Cloud Sea. It's an endless sea of white clouds that basically act as a liquid. It's never really explained exactly why they do this, but it's the ocean. They wanted something cooler, so it's the Cloud Sea.
One piece.
Okay, so we start with our main character, Rex. Rex is... he's a salvager. He's just sort of... I need my phone out, don't I? Shut up. Okay. Here we are. My bad. Right. Alright, so all humans live on the Cloud Sea. There's no real land that they live on that's not living, in a sense. I'll get to that in a second. Alright, so we start out with Rex. He's a salvager, so he dives into the Cloud Sea to dig up ancient treasures of the past and sell them at mediocre prices. He makes his living on that. Humans all live on the Titans. Just these large... Some of them are big, some of them are small. All of them can house life, though. It's said that supposedly, a long time ago, before anyone can remember, humans lived with their creator, the Architect, in Elysium. Supposedly on top of the World Tree, which is this giant tree, which is the center of the world, called All Rest. So yeah. People live on Titans. Rex also lives on a Titan, a relatively small one. It only fits his small little living hut. He refers to the Titan as Gramps because he basically raised him. He lives rent-free on this guy, so he sends most of his money home.
Question.
Go ahead.
Yeah, can I see this? So he lives on his grandfather.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Not biological.
Not biological, but just wanting to clarify. This guy raised him and now he lives on him.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, he lives a pretty swell life. Whenever he hunts. So when we start off, he pulls up a safe from the bottom of the Cloud Sea, and when he opens it, there's this giant crab inside. So we get to see that Rex is an adept fighter. He can use this two-handed longsword decently well, enough to protect himself against minor creatures in the Cloud Sea. So when and he eats what he kills. So he killed the crab, ate a giant crab. That's his way of life. He doesn't really need money all that much, but he sends it home again. So he sells his stuff. The first location that we need to know, the Argentum Trade Guild. This is one of the bigger Titans that an entire trading guild has been built around. There are different architectural styles for each Titan that you see. It's really neat. But yeah, so Rex sells his treasure that he found that day, and he's just sort of disappointed with the price. Not awful, because the merchants there know Rex pretty well. He's a salvager of decent renown, despite his really awful choice of clothing.
Oh no.
He looks so awful.
No drip.
No drip?
No drip.
No drip.
None at all. So, yeah. So after he sends some money home, he's about to go back to see Gramps, but he is approached by a Nopon. Nopon, however you want to say it. It's spelled weird. This Nopon is... what's his name? Papunin. Not really important. He's more of a side character that just conveniently pushes the plot along. Papunin tells Rex that what's the title? Crap.
Xenoblade 2?
No, not the title.
Please play Xenoblade 2.
Shit.
I am the
This is why we have notes.
Yes, this is why we have notes.
Xenoblade 2 Electric Boogaloo.
No.
Chairman of the guild, that's the one.
Ah!
Chairman of the guild, Bana.
the chill.
He's also a Nopon. He's fat. He's got hookers. What more do you want in life? So this guy's a big player. He's loaded. So he's telling Rex, like, hey, I've got this big job for you. More money than you've ever seen. 100,000 gold as an advance. And another 100,000 on completion of this mission. And Rex just sold, like, a couple weeks worth for like $300. So this is a crap ton of gold. So he accepts without hesitation. And when it's mentioned that he doesn't even know the details, he's like, oh yeah, tell me the details. So the crew comes in that requested the job because it's a very, I don't want to say secret job, but it's a very specific job. They need to give the details themselves. So then two sets of a blade and a driver walk in along with one other man, pausing to explain blades and drivers, which we don't understand in the game yet, but it's important to really understand what's going on here. So this right here is a crude drawing of a core crystal. Blades come from core crystal. Blades are both literally blades and also intelligent beings. When something that is not a blade, mostly humans, we've never really seen anything else be a driver, but it is implied that it doesn't a driver doesn't have to be human. They are referred to as drivers, not human drivers.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah. So when a human driver touches a core crystal, it will generally spawn a blade. Just some being, either humanoid or tiger formed. We've never really seen any other, outside a few very special cases. And alongside that will come a specialized weapon. A hammer, a spear, a sword, some form of weaponry. So yeah, the blade is directly tied to the driver. They can resonate, and the blade can send energy to the driver to fight with, called ether. Blades draw atmospheric ether energy depending on their element: wind, fire, water, ice, all that good stuff. And yeah, the driver uses arts to use that energy. There is... Shoot. Yeah, so that's basically just how blades and drivers work. When a driver dies, though, the blade reverts to its core crystal, and it loses, and then another driver can later come and resonate with the blade, and it'll form again, in the exact same way. It doesn't... We've never seen any blade change from one driver to the next. Anyway.
Wait, question, quick.
Go ahead.
So if a driver dies, the blade doesn't necessarily die, but it like goes back into the crystal, right?
Correct, yes.
So can the blade die?
The blade can die if you destroy the core crystal, but that's kind of difficult. Generally,
Okay.
if you injure a blade, they will heal.
Okay.
If their core crystal is untouched.
Can I have that real quick?
Yeah.
Why are they called drivers? Are blades seen as like a thing you pilot?
Generally speaking, it is a two-pair. Yes, the driver is using the blade, while the blade in the background is more of a supportive sort of role.
Okay.
So yes, the driver is the one doing the fighting. We don't really get any historical, like, hey, this is why they're called drivers.
Gotcha.
That's
Yeah.
just...
And do we know where
They
these
draw.
blades come from yet, or is that later on?
That's later on.
Gotcha. They're just a thing in the world that
Currently,
people interact
yes.
with.
That's just how the world... Now, we don't see this. I'm just going to say... Unique blades and common blades come from the same core crystals right there. But unique blades will have some... Like, you've got this... The blades that walk in are both unique blades. You've got one alien-looking thing. Looks like it will pounce on you and just rip your throat out with its teeth. Then you've got another straight-up tiger. This gigantic white tiger. But most common blades will... they take on a sort of really cool robotic form. But unique blades are just very clearly different. They'll either appear as humanoid or something else. But yeah, they come in all shapes and sizes. Anyway, so Rex accepts the job after a quick little tussle with. Sorry, I totally skipped the meeting. So we've got one girl. She's got cat ears. Yes. We've got a legitimate cat girl here.
Let's go!
Roland is visibly excited. Cat girls?
Oh well, it's not as good as cat boys, but it will suffice.
It will suffice. So anyway, we've got... Her name is Nia. She's the driver of the giant tiger.
Wait, she's the Scottish one, right?
Yes.
Yes.
She's the Scottish one. The extremely Scottish one. She's also got quite an attitude. She clearly thinks she's above everyone else. Then you've
And
got...
she's on the mysterious crew.
Yes,
Is there a
this
main
is.
character?
I am describing the mysterious crew right now.
Okay.
She wears this dopey suit that's just yellow and covers everything. So
yeah, it's like her sleeves
to the
go
glove.
over her hands, right?
kind of. She's
yeah.
got gloves that go into her sleeves. So
yeah.
yeah. And then you've got a man in black armor, just total black armor. His name is Malos. Absolutely no malicious intent in that name. He drives the dark alien-looking thing, and it's got a really unique sort of blade style. Right, not important to the plot or anything, but all tiger blades, for whatever reason, have rings, double ring sort of blades. But humanoid blades carry way more range of weapons. Yes, and then the man in silver sort of garbs, he's got a mask on covering the entirety of his top face, and just a long ass sword. Not Sephiroth long, mind you, but a pretty long katana on his back.
along?
Huh?
Like coming along?
I don't know who that is.
Damn.
Yeah, my bad.
Like the guy from Gurren Lagann?
Yeah.
Did he have
Oh.
a sword?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot. Okay.
Anyway, so yeah, they explain that that the currents in the Cloud Sea have changed. It let them pick up something at the bottom that they need that out of the water. It's a giant ship, and they need an entire crew, but they need salvagers from Leftheria, which is a location we will get into later, but Rex is from the Leftheria. So, yeah, they specifically called on a younger salvager. Sorry. Rex is young as hell. He's really young. He's like, what, 13? I don't know.
Jojo.
I don't know exactly how old he is.
Oh my god.
Alright. So, yeah. The rest of it kind of skims by until... There's a few quests that you go on to prepare for the trip, because it's pretty out there into the sea.
And these are just like grinding quests, right?
Just grinding. It's just making you use the resources you have so far to like get you into the game, get items and whatnot.
So these aren't quite tutorials.
Not totally, but they are. It's still in the tutorial phase. It's
Yeah, it's
telling
the-
you which shops sell what they'll do, and then it gets whack from here. So you have to figure out it yourself. So yeah, it starts you off simply, but then it really it goes nuts. So yeah, you buy some items, you buy some food. Food can be used for temporary buffs. Items are for permanent buffs, if you keep them equipped and all.
Yeah.
So anyway, where was it? Yes, you set out on a rather big ship, one of the bigger ships in the entire trade guild, which just kind of tells you how much money Bana is making off this, the chairman of the trade guild, the fat blue Nopon. So anyway, Rex has the night shift, which isn't super important, but it lets you talk during the day with Malos, Jin, and the Blades, and Mia, but she's just kind of snobby about it. So they're kind of vague about it. Jin, more than anything, he's just sort of like, one of those guys. Malos is just kind of like, you did well when I tested you, and then...
Slightly different.
Yes.
Oh my god, Jackson.
And then Dromar, the Tiger Blade, his name is Dromark. He's an important character.
Wait, who has Dromark again?
Nia.
Nia.
The
right.
giant tiger is Nia's blade, Dromark.
And then, do we know what Malos's is yet?
We know we can look at the name Sever, but
Okay.
that's the only time we can look at it.
And then
Do
who
they
is the-
all have a blade?
Jin does not, Rex does not.
Okay.
But Jin just sort of carries that sort of vibe that he's the leader because he's the strongest. We don't really see any evidence of that yet, though. So, but yeah, foreshadowing. Anyway, so, yeah. Rex has the Night Watch. He notices that a black mechanical ship is following them. Most ships in Allrest are built around smaller Titans for fast transport to the bigger Titans and whatnot. But the ship following them, it's just made of metal, not Titan-based, which is really an oddity. But even more so why they're following them way out into the Cloud Sea. So, yeah, and then Nia comes up because the men start drinking, and she looks like she's 12, but... Yeah, she does not respond to questions about her age when Rex asks.
That's for the sake of the fanfic.
Yes.
Ugh.
No.
Rex tells Nia that the reason he became a salvager was because he believes that the World Tree is the home of Elysium. Now, due to the fact that humans live on Titans, which are living things, the Titans are dying out. It's been happening. It's kind of like just land is going away. Titans will dive into Cloud Sea and they will never come back up. So that's it. There have been tensions from major countries. It's implied at this point, we don't really see evidence yet, that there have been a lot of tensions about this. Dwindling land, which lands are going to invade which, and certain Titans which are kind of just old. We know that they're gonna go down soon. A lot of people are going to lose their homes. That's an issue. So Rex firmly believes that if he someday finds Elysium, he can stop this war from coming. Nia kind of laughs at this. She's like, that's an overgrown shrub. And I quote that. There is no Elysium. There's no evidence that there is any architect or anything more than a giant tree right there. And Rex is just kind of like, yeah, okay. That's your opinion. So anyway, the time comes when all the salvagers dive into the Cloud Sea. The crew is starting to... Malos and Jin specifically are getting very twitchy and pushy about, like, do a good job or you're fucked. I'll keep it down from there. But, yeah. So the ship's too big for them to work underwater with it, or under the clouds with it, so they use flotation devices and cranes to hull it up to the surface, where the blades and drivers can enter it themselves for what they want. So that goes off without a hitch. The doors sorry. So when Rex pulled up the safe in the beginning, we saw a giant crab come out of it. This is a giant warship that's been there for hundreds of years now. Like, Rex doesn't even recognize that which country made it. It just looks that different. So when they pull it up, a whole bunch of critters are upset that I say critters, they're giant sharks. Giant sharks with kind of hind legs, or not hind legs, little legs.
Can these sharks swim in the sky?
They cannot swim in the sky, they swim in the clouds, literally.
Okay.
Because the clouds see.
Yeah.
So yeah, a shark comes out, and that's when the entire crew of salvagers, they see just what a blade and driver can do. Rex probably could not have taken that shark by himself. He's just sort of like, wow, that was impressive. They make quick work of this shark. These blades and drivers they know what they're doing.
Are these all playable characters?
At this point, yes.
So, are some playable characters significantly more powerful than others?
Currently, I believe Jin is the highest level that you can play, maybe around level 7 or so. He might be level 5, I don't know. But they are higher than Rex on average.
Why would you play Rex?
Because he's the main character.
Because he's cool, dude.
Yeah.
Like, what if I just like... What if I just like Rex? What if I just want to play as the scrappy 13-year-old just trying to make it in life?
Yeah. What if?
Okay, but consider, we established beforehand that Rex has no drip.
It's not about the drip, dude. It's about how you use it.
And not using the same character for
The lack of drip?
5 years in a row.
It's about how you wear it.
All right, let's go.
Okay.
About Rex's drip, or lack thereof. So anyway, after a short little dungeon, you get to the center of the ship. There's nothing that really happens in between now and then. They fight another shark. This one's a little bigger than the last one. But you make quick work of it, because you've got blades and drivers and Jin there. So they get to a door, and Malos and Jin are just getting more and more pushy with Rex. Rex is the only salvager there, I should mention. He specifically asked for Rex to come along with them. So they get really pushy with Rex, and they say, you, open the door. And Rex makes some dumb comment like, you can't treat hired hands like this, when they tell him not to ask dumb questions, and I'm just like, yes, you can, but...
Fucking capitalist.
Yeah, I know. So, yeah, Rex is kind of stumped. It's a big door. It's not something you can just lift open. It's giant. But, like, after... Malos makes some little comment about, there it is, Adam's crest. We don't really have any context for that, so it's not important yet. But once Rex touches this Adam's crest, the door just opens. And then Jin goes, hey, open that next door over there. There's something that's... When Rex walks to that door, in between the two doors, there's some chamber with something. We don't really know what it would do if someone unqualified to open the doors would happen to, but Rex is clearly the only one that can do it right now. So he opens the second door, and he goes on ahead by himself. This is just all in cutscene. We don't get any solo play with Rex, because that would be awful.
Oh no.
So yeah, Rex is allured into the giant room in the center of the ship by some mysterious green light. Don't know why Jin and Malos didn't follow him faster, but they didn't. So Rex comes into the chamber alone, and he sees two things off the bat. First, he sees a girl in a capsule. If you have your references with you,
yeah.
It's, you said we could put pictures with this, right? Okay, so I'll put that later. So you see a girl in red sort of armor. Alongside it, right in front of the capsule, there's a sword sticking out of the ground, kind of like the Sword in the Stone kind of vibe. It's got this right on its hilt.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so, and it's glowing, and it's like, hey, if you've ever seen the Lego movie or anything, yeah, it's the piece of resistance, like, come here, touch the piece. He's clearly, like, just mindlessly gonna touch the piece.
Yeah.
And despite being warned by Malos, don't you dare touch that, he touches it. So yeah, without any time to react, Jin is like, whatever. So he takes his sword and
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Are these consequences drastic or positive? Are these negative consequences or positive consequences?
Yes and no, you'll see.
Alright,
So,
yeah.
first off, the negatives, Rex is killed.
Whoa! Wait, what?
Fast!
Yeah.
Wait, what?
So,
Oh, God.
Yeah, as soon as he touches the light, it goes away. Something happened. He activated something. Jin didn't like that, so he stabbed Rex through the chest.
Oh!
From behind.
Kids.
Rex doesn't even know what happens by the time he's dead and on the floor. Nia's like, Jin, what the hell? And Jin's like, it's a mercy. You won't be able to see what's coming next. Very... Yeah, darkly. Nia's conflicted about this. Malos doesn't give two craps.
And this is the character we started with that just died.
Yes.
Yeah.
Main character. So, Jin breaks the sword that he touched. It shatters into hundreds of pieces. And then Malos picks up the capsule that looks way too heavy to carry, but he does because anime.
Yeah.
So he carries it out, leaving Rex's dead body just there. Yeah, and then it cuts to what Rex sees. He's dying. He's dead. He wakes up in a grassy field with the same girl in the capsule at the top of a hill.
Why are you dancing?
You know what?
He's talking.
Shush.
He's vibing right
You can
now.
get
Adds
him demerit if you
still
want.
extra.
Yeah, demerit.
No, I like it. I like
Demerit.
it. I like it.
Shut it.
Okay.
Anyway, so... Now I need to stop. So, there's the same girl that he saw in the capsule. She's at the top of the hill. Right next to a tree. There's just nothing but grass for a while. That Rex can see right now. So he goes and he...
Wait.
Go ahead.
This is a hallucination or something? Like this is in like his dream? 'Cause he just
It's
died?
in his head. It's in his
Okay,
head. He's
okay.
dead. He did not teleport. So he goes up to her and he's like, hey, where are we? And she's like, it's so mournful. That sound. It's a bell sound that's just sort of chiming. It's an old church bell sound. There's birds sung along. It's a beautiful view. And yeah, so they talk. Rex is like, hi, who are you? Who are you? She says her name is Pyra. And she has this on her chest as well. She's a blade.
Whoa,
And
girl.
that was her sword.
My sword is my girlfriend?
Yes, that's
Heck yeah.
exactly what this is.
But wait, when Jin... One second. So, Jin shattered the sword, right?
Jin shattered the sword, yes.
Does that mean Jin killed the blade?
No. The sword, the blade, and the blade form are two different things.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
It's in
she
the-
is not harmed by the blade shattering.
Wait, can I just do a clarifying thing real quick? It's in the crystal, right? The crystal is
The
blade.
core crystal, her chest, that is, if you shatter that, she's dead.
Yeah, but the blade itself doesn't
The blade
matter.
itself
Yeah.
has has that form.
Could
but
Jin have killed her if he wanted to?
He could have, yes.
So
They
he
could.
intentionally left her alive.
They intentionally are taking her alive, yes.
Oh, they're moving her.
Yes,
That's
they are
what's
moving
in the
her
capsule.
currently. Yes,
Kidnapping.
she's in the capsule, yes.
Okay.
Sorry if that was unclear. So anyway, so he's like, oh, you're a blade, hi. And she's like, yes, and your name is Rex. Oh, how do you know me? And she says that it was when they came into contact just a second ago. So the sword is her in a sense, but it is not. It didn't hurt her for this blade to shatter. So yeah, and he's like, yeah, I can't remember how I got here. And then Pyra tells him that he was killed. That's a thing. But then she makes a deal with him. She's like, okay, so I need to get to Elysium. And it is previously stated by her that they are currently in Elysium, supposedly at the top of the world tree. So Rex asks about that, and it's just all in Pyra's head. It's just a half memory of Elysium. A beautiful place, just stretches for miles. And she sees right through Rex. She sees that, yes, if you want to stop the war, take me here, and I'll give you half my life force. And so he agrees, and then so she has him touch her core crystal, and then it just cuts back to Malos, Jin, and Nia carrying the capsule out of the ship. The crew doesn't really know what's happened at all, but Malos orders Nia to kill the rest of the crew, because they have what they came for. They don't care what happens anymore. Their lives have been paid for in full, as Malos puts it. And the less people that know about what...
Questions.
Yes, go.
Jin is the leader, not Malos, right?
They both have authority over Nia. Seems to be more of a partnership in some ways.
Why is Malos backstabbing everybody?
He's just a mean person.
Okay.
Yeah.
And aren't they trying to get to the world tree?
We don't know yet.
Okay.
Wait, who? Sorry.
Jin and that gang.
We don't know. All we know is that they want Pyra. They refer to her, I think, once so far as the Aegis.
Oh, so Pyra is like the MacGuffin right now. They're just trying to grab her.
Yes, that is all we know currently, yes.
Okay.
Alright, go.
We are back.
Okay, so Malos instructs Nia to end the rest of the salvagers because their lives have been paid for in full. They don't need them anymore. They have what they came for. So Malos does not care about them at all. He's just a mean person. Nia's just kind of like, yeah, that's not right. I'm not going to do that. Malos gets really ticked when she resists, and he's just like, yeah, fine, I'll do it myself. So he turns to go kill them all, but the capsule that he is carrying on his shoulder, it erupts into flames. So he throws the capsule aside, and Pyra bursts from it, landing on the top of the ship, just super jump. And then Rex comes from the bottom of the ship. He melts his way through to the top of it, just for big fire column effect.
His corpse?
He's alive.
Oh, he's okay.
And he's got the center of her core crystal on his chest now. She is missing the center of her core. So yeah, it does... So yeah, there's that. So... Yeah, Malos is kind of and Rex has the sword that he touched now. It sort of just came back once he resurrected.
Where did Rex resurrect?
They left his corpse. So he was just sort of laying there.
So he was just in that room with the capsule.
He was in that room with the capsule, and then he just sort of woke up.
It was like, whoa.
Flashy anime sword in hand.
Yeah.
So yeah, he comes out, and he's like, hey, you stabbed me in the back.
And you stabbed me.
Yeah. So yeah, he looks at Jin specifically, and Jin is about to go kill Rex again. He clearly can, but Malos is like, nah, I'll do this myself. So Malos takes out his blade, which, it's a really interesting design. If you're interested, I'll put a picture here for you. Whatever, that wasn't, whatever. So anyway, Malos and Rex start fighting, and despite the fact that Rex has a clearly power advantage, Rex's attacks are just stronger. But Malos has way more experience, and it kind of just that inexperience leads to Malos destroying Rex.
You play Rex in this fight, right?
Yes, you play Rex now.
Wait, who are you fighting again?
Malos.
Okay.
And his blade.
And so this is an epic anime fight that you...
Yes,
that
on the...
win?
You do not win it, no.
Oh, no.
I mean, you win it, but then the cutscene says no.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's not that hard because it's like a level 5 fight.
Yeah.
But, so, anyway, yeah, Malos does something. It's not his blade's power, it's some dark purple energy that he uses to grab Rex's blade
Someone wake Jackson up.
Wait,
Oh, did y'all just
Actually,
notice
wait,
that?
I'm awake, actually.
I only noticed because he started snoring.
He's
Did I
been,
really?
been
Yeah.
snoring.
Wait, did I not hear that until just now?
I was just like, hey Tyler,
Oral
he's,
coffee.
that's fine.
Okay.
All right, back to the game.
Yeah, okay. So, anywho, Malos grabs Rex's blade, which should have been a lethal force to his hand, but he just says no, catches it, and then knocks the wind out of Rex instead of just slashing his guts open. I have issues with that because reasons, but... So he could have killed Rex, but he was dumb and anime, so he didn't.
When you say knock the wind out of...
He nails him in the gut.
Okay.
Oh! So yeah, he throws Rex against the ground. His sword just shoots off to the side. Pyra goes and picks it up after Malos insults him. And then Pyra and Malos start fighting. Pyra is using her own sword. She seems a lot better than Rex with it, but she is not a driver and blade pair, so it's kind of evenly matched. So anyway, Malos says something we don't get yet. He tells them that, I guess your goal is Elysium. And that much is understood. But then Pyra says, yes, that is our goal. Keep in mind the hour. She puts emphasis on hour because they need to. So anyway, that ends in pretty much a stalemate. But then, the black ship that Rex saw earlier on the Night Watch shows up. Yeah. Nia had issues with this earlier, but once Rex was alive and well, she was like, you're alive? Okay, I'm not gonna stand still this time! So she goes in and helps Rex somewhere along there, along with Dromark, who is just devoted to her completely. She's just like, okay,
Wait,
you do something?
question?
Yeah, go ahead.
I thought Dromark was a sword and she was the driver.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah.
Blades are their own individual creatures.
So they could just not
They could,
cooperate.
yes, they
Okay.
could. And we'll see that later. It is a sort of thing. So anyway, yeah, Nia goes and helps, but once the ship shows up, and clearly Nia and Malos are not evenly matched. Nia is the least experienced among her crew. So anyway, yeah. So that happens. The mechanicalized ship comes up and starts shooting cannons at them. This is one of the first times that we will see this multiple times. Blades can throw up shields made of little... I don't want to say little... kind of just made up of hexagons that aren't quite totally together, but they are quick, sturdy shields, as strong as the blade is.
Like in Red vs. Blue, the way their shields work.
Yes.
Is like...
Kind of exactly like that. Kind of exactly like that. Yeah, they can throw those up. They're kind of like half shields, though, not full circular shields. But yeah, it's a very useful that almost every blade can do it. So yeah, they do that, but the cannon fires too much, it knocks Nia out, and yeah, knocks Nia completely off Dromark, and almost falls off. Rex goes and saves her, puts himself in a really crappy position. His only saving grace is his hook shot, which is important for salvaging and whatnot. It's just a hook on his arm that he's got, anime range, and whatever's convenient for the moment. So he's hanging there with Nia's knocked out body. And then suddenly Gramps shows up. Rex had kind of just told Gramps, yeah, take a nap, I'll be back in like a week or so. Gramps did not take a nap. Instead, he decided to spread his wings. Literally, he has wings. So he flew over there, he starts shooting fireballs. Because he can. He looks kind of like a dragon. Anyway. So... yeah, Gramps starts shooting fireballs. Jin deflects the fireballs while everyone else starts dodging them, which just kind of tells you, yeah, you want to be behind Jin. But, yeah, so, yes. Gramps' real name is Azurda. We don't really hear that much, though. We don't really hear that much. So, it's kind of irrelevant. So, anyway, yeah, he shows up, he saves Rex and Nia, and Dromark and Pyra. But yeah, so he says something to himself, kind of like, oh, Jin, you're still at it, I guess? And is that Malos? What the heck? He's clearly surprised to see Malos and disappointed to see Jin doing this kind of thing. So he saves all 4 of them and flies away, but he gets shot down. Well, shot down. He sustains quite heavy damage. So yeah, Rex gets knocked out along the explosions and whatnot.
Wait. So Gramps knew Malos and his crew.
Yes. He knew Malos and Jin. He didn't make a reference to anyone else, though.
Do we know why yet? Or
Not yet. Not at all.
Okay.
But we will later. So, yeah. So, yeah. He gets shot down. Rex wakes up with Pyra in the same area, and she's just kind of like, yeah, I don't know. I woke up a while ago, but I don't know where anyone else is. So they get up, and they go follow the trail of broken trees. They landed on some Titan. They don't know where they are yet, though. So Gramps has several harpoons shoved into his neck, and he took a lot of explosions to the face and body. So he's dying.
Oh
Oh man.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Sure
No more
sucks,
fire-breathing dragon, because I guess plot is important. So yeah, he dies, and it's kind of sad. It's really sad, for like 2 seconds. And then Gramps shows back up as this little fuzzy creature, and he's like, yeah, I did this thing, because I'm a Titan, so I can do this. And he's just back as a useless for anything but ancient knowledge. He's old. Gramps is old. So yeah, he's wise, but now no longer powerful. He can revert to his original form in, say, 300 years or so. But yeah, he's out of commission. So they follow the trail some more, and they find Nia fighting this this just is a giant frog. It's a giant frog. Pretty easy midway boss fight, just to give an excuse to why Nia's still in the area. So Nia tells them that they are on the Titan of Gormat. This is our first major Titan. Yeah. This is our first area that is very important. And she's like, yes, I'm Gormati. I grew up here. People on Gormat, called Gormati, they are generally they've got dog ears, cat ears, any sort of animalistic ears. You got an issue with...
Oh.
No, just rolling, just like sat up. You're like, oh, I'm interested.
Interested, yes.
Dog boys.
Yeah, dog boys. So, yeah, that's pretty much just fan service, though. So, Nia takes them... She's pretty much an expert on the terrain. She knows exactly where she is. So, she takes them to... What is the name? She takes them to the capital city of Gormat, called Torgoth. It's a biggest city on Gormat, and the only one we see. We only interact with the major cities here, unless tiny towns are important. It is hinted that there are other towns and cities on Gormat, but we never see them. So, doesn't really matter. As soon as they walk into Gormat, there is a wanted poster for Nia. It looks really bad, though. Looks like they put Dromark and Nia together, so a furry. So yeah, she gets really ticked because it doesn't look like her. She rips up the wanted poster. And then they walk into town. The guards apparently don't recognize Nia. But they do see driver recruitment. We see 2 people try to touch a core crystal. Just like this one. Well, not just like, but you get it.
Wait, what core crystal?
Random core crystal.
Okay, just background in the town.
Yeah, background. Well, not background, but just a common core crystal, not a unique blade.
Okay.
So anyway, the first guy that tries this, he's a big burly dude. He's like, ha ha ha, I'm gonna awaken the core crystal and take its power for myself. But, yeah, so he touches the core crystal, and after a few seconds, Nia and Gramps, they realize, yeah, this guy's he's not qualified. So, yeah, he kind of just gets super incapacitated, blood spurts everywhere. Of course, they censor it. But, yeah, he is really injured. He's, like,
Oh shit.
deadly injuries if they're not taken care of. But then there's this smaller dude, just kind of skinny, and he touches the core crystal, and it awakens for him. Just a common robotic-looking blade with a spear. So yeah, and then they explain to Rex, who seems very ignorant on the topic of blades for the purposes of the player. It takes a certain aptitude to awaken a blade, and nothing can really change that. If you can't awaken one core crystal, you can't awaken the next. It's just not gonna work. It'll kill you, probably. So yeah, that happened. And then they go Nia says, yeah, I'll show you to the inn, and that's where we part ways. So they get along to the inn, taking the back roads to avoid the guards, because Nia's a terrorist. That's what... Yeah. So,
why is Nia wanted again? What did she do?
we don't know exactly yet, but
That will be revealed later, then,
yes,
right? Okay.
soon. Actually, right here. So, cool.
Okay.
So, so yeah, the guards find them in the back alley, they surround them, and they're like, hey, you look just like your wanted poster. And then they show them the wanted poster that looks nothing like Nia, and then Dromark even chimes in, yeah, looks just like you. Yeah, that's a funny little moment. But, yeah, and then they realize that Rex has a blade, and they're like, hey, you must be an unregistered driver, you're both under arrest. And they mention that Nia is a part of Torna, a terrorist group.
So you need a driver's license?
Yes. I never thought of it that way, so that's great. Yes, you need a driver's license over here in Gormont.
Hell yeah.
So anyway, Rex tried to lie his way out of it, but he's a terrible liar, so that didn't work out. So they fight the guards off, and the guards do not have blades. They're not drivers. They just have
suck.
guns. Yeah, they suck.
Yeah.
So Nia and Rex make pretty quick work of them. They're just like, oh crap, this is a blade and a driver. Two of them. We're kind of screwed. So as Nia and Rex try to make a run for it, they are blocked by a wall of blue fire. Enter Brigid, one of the stronger blades that we'll see. She's a unique blade, very humanoid. Aside from her legs, which look like some crystallized flame. And she's got two...
Oh, a question.
Yes.
Is Bridget that blue one we were talking about? Okay.
Bridget is the blue one. She's got her eyes closed, kind of like Brock does. As mentioned before, she only opens them once in the entire game. And we'll get to that. I will make a point of that because it's just, hey, she opened her eyes. Yeah, that one.
Frisk Undertale.
So, anyway, Brigid starts fighting Rex and Nia, and despite not having her driver there, she's stronger than both of them. She easily takes out Nia, and Rex and Pyra are...
Who is Brigid's driver again?
We don't know exactly yet.
Okay.
But we will soon. So anyway, she tells the guards to go get the thing. We don't know what that is yet, but, yeah. So Rex and Brigid are pretty much... So they're pretty much an even match in offensive power, but Brigid is very well known for her walls of flame, so she is stopping them from running away. Nia pounces at them, tells Rex to run, but she is stopped by ether nets, these glowing yellow nets that stop blades and drivers from drawing in ether energy. Leaves them completely useless. So Nia and Dromark are caught. Rex and Pyra try to run away, but they cannot because the walls of flame. Then out of nowhere, there's some bomb-looking thing with a face, kind of like a bomb-bomb. But yeah, it comes out of just from the wall of fire, and it hits a water pipe right above Brigid, conveniently, and douses her with water. Because she is a fire... It douses everyone with water. Because she's a fire blade, her powers are greatly diminished. The wall of fire kind of goes away. Rex and Pyra unleash a giant blast of fire, and they use the steam to escape. They run away, and they are helped by just some little Nopon we haven't seen yet. He tells them, yes, come in here, hide from soldiers. So they do, and the soldiers run right by, and yeah, they get out of there. So, yeah. The little Nopon that helped them, his name is Tora. He's important, clearly. So he's like, yeah, I don't like the soldiers, they're bullies, and also I wanted a driver friend. So, yeah, I helped you. Yes, very inspiring.
Why am I the only one applauding?
Tora's a great character. He's got the best speech pattern in the game. So he calls Rex Rex, just because to show great respect for what a great driver he is and all that. He worships Rex. And he's like, yeah, I want to be a driver too, but yeah, I tried that. So did my dad, and so did my Grampy Pon.
He says Grampy Pon!
He says Grampy Pon.
I love Nopon. They're the best part of these games.
They are the best part of these games. You know what? His Grampy is dead. Show a little respect.
No, I'm not laughing. I'm enjoying. I
was
show
talking to
a
him.
lot of respect.
I was talking to him.
Jackson, demerit.
That's not. You
I'm not
can't
even
do
paying
that.
attention to
He
what I'm
does
laughing
that.
at. What?
He can dish out demerits to Jackson. I don't care.
Okay.
Specifically to Jackson, though.
Well,
Jackson.
Grampy Pawn.
Demerit.
Alright.
Every time you
Fuck
mock
it.
Tora for his Grampy Pawn's death. Demerit.
Imagine having a dead grandpa.
Wow.
Loser.
Demerit.
The merit.
Hell yeah!
I'm giving her the
Thank you.
merit.
Can I just say something? Tora's so cool, dude.
He is. Anywho. So yeah, Tora tells them that, yeah, he tried to touch Core Crystal, but yeah, his entire line seems unqualified for whatever reason. So he had a nosebleed for 3 days.
Oh
Wasn't-
no.
I know.
Oh no. That can only mean one thing in an anime.
Anywho, so yeah, Tora's grandfather and his father decided to work on a project after they realized they were unqualified, of an artificial blade. Now, an artificial blade would allow even the unqualified to, yeah, they would allow unqualified drivers to wield a blade. But it's incomplete. It's never been done before. So Rex and Pyra agreed to help him complete this artificial blade that we don't have a name for yet. Then it cuts to the sort of leader of the city, I want to say. He's just one of those jerky merchants who do nothing but grab for money. Oh, crap. I'm sorry. I missed a part.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, after Gramps escaped from the ship when he was still big, it cut to Bana talking to his Nopon assistant who was on the ship and saw the whole thing unfurl. So,
Hold up.
yeah.
Who's Bana again?
Bana is the chairman of the Argentum Trade Guild. He's the fat one with hookers.
Okay.
Oh, he's a Nopon, right?
Yes, Nopon. Big,
yeah.
fat, like the biggest Nopon we've seen.
Fuck yeah.
Oh yeah,
To date.
time out. I want to get my drink.
There you go.
My Powerade. It's right behind you.
Oh, that one. I could smell it.
Smell
You
Powerade?
can probably
That's a
smell the fucking
superpower.
bang.
Yeah, I can smell the bang. I can't smell the
tell the
Powerade.
difference.
The
We're
bang
gonna
smells
stop
toxic.
for 1 second.
Yeah.
Elf fan.
Dude, I love the movie.
All right, we're back.
Okay. So anyway, I missed one scene and one line.
Okay.
The line's important. The scene is not as important, but still worth note. So right after it cut away from the battleship scene, shows that Bana, the chairman of the trade guild, he gets the report of the fight and who ran away. Like Rex ran away.
Which fight?
The fight on the shipyard. Yes, so after Gramps flew away with the 4 of those, the 2 blades and 2 drivers, Bana's assistant called him, and Bana's upset that everyone is not dead, because now he has to pay a lot of people, and that's a pain.
Hold
Oh,
up.
no.
Did we figure out what the deal with that metal ship was?
We do not, no.
Okay.
We do not.
We don't understand that.
It's not unrealistic that it's not Titan-based, it's just a lot more expensive and doesn't make logical sense.
But we don't
to
know
me.
why they were following
We
them.
don't know.
Okay.
Well, it was clearly on Jin and Malice's side, so maybe they ordered it, but yeah,
And we don't know what Jin and Malice are doing right now.
not currently.
Okay.
They want Pyra, though. That much is very clear. So anyway, Bana tells his assistant, "Damn, you should have just died. Like a useful little assistant."
Oh.
So should the rest of you guys. And then he hangs up that phone. He realizes from where they fell, they should arrive in Gorman. So he calls up his buddy Dougal, who's just this merchant man. Yeah, Dougal.
Dougal's my favorite character from the Magic Roundabout.
Oh my gosh.
So anyway, Dougal starts talking about Bana's illegal deals because, they're merchants. They clearly deal illegally. So Bana's like, "Hey, unrestricted line, shut up about that." And then he's like, "Yeah, we've got bigger fish to fry. Here's what happened." And then it cuts away. Then when Bridget showed up to fight Pyra and Rex, she mentioned that an emerald core crystal was the sign of the Aegis. The second time we hear that name. Third time we hear that name. All we know now is that the Aegis is a legendary blade.
So core crystals don't have like a specific color. They can come in any form of color, right?
Most of them are blue.
Okay.
Now that I think about it, I can't really think of anyone that's not blue.
Okay, so it's just this one special one that's green.
Aside from Pyra's core crystal, which is green. Dang, I actually haven't thought about that.
Okay.
Yeah, but they are mostly light blue, the same color as the core crystal that they come from. So anyway, yeah, Bridget mentioned that the coming of the Aegis, not a good thing. So that's the vibe we're getting from what Bridget tried to do. So yeah, Rex and Pyra agree to help Tora finish his artificial blade, and then that artificial blade can help them rescue Nia, who was captured because she was locked in the Ethernet and whatnot. So yeah, just after a small bit of, just a couple quests, like 10,000 gold or something, I don't know. So yeah, after a bit of gold, a bit of fighting, you get the components needed to complete this artificial blade. She was mostly completed. Just very robotic. Yeah. Anyway. So you complete the blade. Tora powers it up. Not really important, but the artificial blade called Poppy, named by Tora, had a maid setting. So that's what she woke up as, and then Tora turned her off and turned her back on again, and it was fixed.
Oh.
Yeah, so, yeah.
I was always wondering why Poppy acted like a robot so much every time I saw her. So
It's a setting thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah. So that happened. Tora blames his Grumpy Pond for it, but...
Poppy is the artificial blade, right?
Poppy is the artificial blade.
Okay.
Isn't that like Poppy Alpha or something?
Poppy Alpha,
Yeah.
yes. But, yeah. So... Yeah, we only get to use Poppy Alpha for quite a while. So Tora cannot resonate with other blades, but ever since the driver recruitment ceremony, Rex is told, yeah, you can resonate with other blades. It just increases your numbers. It's a better way to fight than just with one blade. So it makes you resonate with one common blade, but that's it. It cuts to Dougal, he's really upset that Dougal is the guy that was told that Rex and the Aegis had escaped by Bana. Bana knows what's going on. So Dougal had instructed all the soldiers to capture a blade with an emerald core crystal. It clearly stands out. It's got a different shape and color and everything. When they failed to do that and instead caught, as Dougal put it, a useless cat, who was part of Torna, a terrorist, should have been top priority, but Dougal had specifically said not to prioritize them over the Aegis. So Dougal gets upset, but as he's getting upset, he is told that Lady Bridget is coming in from the motherland, and that kind of scares him. He's clearly a rich guy. Go ahead.
Who is Dougal again?
Dougal is the top merchant of the city. He's I want to say he's like the leader of the city.
Is Dougal Argentum or Gorman?
He seems to be normal human with no animalistic features. He's just a very plump mustache human.
Yeah, what
where does
Titan
he
does he
live?
live on?
He lives in Gorman.
Okay.
Okay.
He's the leader of the city that they are currently in.
So he's not related to Jin, he's just part of Gormat's weird government.
Yeah, Gorman's government.
Minor villain.
Which is a part, we'll get into this later, but he's part of the... Torgoth and Gormat are part of the Empire of Mor Ardain. That's where this Lady Bridget, who we haven't seen yet, is coming from, the main city of Mor Ardain. So yes, it shows that Dougal welcomes Lady Morag, trying to keep the secret of the Aegis away from her. She already knows about it, though, and is just kind of messing with Dougal, like, oh, did you think I wouldn't know about that? She clearly knows he's trying to hide it. It's fun. Morag is the driver of Bridget. She was away, and Bridget had just stayed in Torgoth for whatever reason. Bridget gives her own report about what happened, because she directly fought the Aegis. And then Morag interrogates Nia, and asks for the names of Rex and Pyra, which Nia accidentally gives away without any fight. So yeah, after that, there is a public announcement that a terrorist from Torna is going to be executed. So yeah, Rex gets wind of this, and as soon as he does, he starts putting together a plan to rescue her. This is actually why Poppy was made with the help of Rex and Pyra, to help in the rescue of Nia. So anyway, they recognize that, hey, there's a giant route right here that goes and leads right to the Titan warship she's being held in. How they know which warship she's being held in, unclear, but, plot. So they go there, they get into the ship without any real issue. It's shown in a cutscene that Poppy can lift she's really strong. It's one of her field abilities, super strength. She also has rockets on her legs, so she can fly for limited amounts of time. Also, so Poppy is very helpful. They break into the ship really easily. There's only guards in there. It's just a small little dungeon to annoy the player. Works. So they rescue Nia without too much of an issue. They rescue Nia and Dromark first. The driver and Blade are kept separate when put into holding cells. So yeah, they rescue those two, and then Nia, she expected Jin to be there to rescue her. It shows a small flashback of Jin rescuing her from some other prison holding cell, but this time it's Rex that opens the door, obviously. But, I'm saying but a lot. But,
Cheeks.
We're so mature.
Why are you out here with all this ass? Cheeked up on a Thursday afternoon. The sun is still out.
It's Sunday. The sun is not out. Anywho, so they get out, they run out, and as they approach the exit, Dougal is there to stop them. The merchant, who's just kind of acting head of the city. And he stops, he sees Pyra, he's like, "Oh, you're the Aegis, lovely! I'm gonna take your power from her."
Pyra is the Aegis?
Yes, was that clear?
Oh, I'm stupid. That makes so much sense.
I got that. Oh, did you get that?
It all connects now. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
What? You
Let's
didn't
recap on the
understand? Are you
current-
serious?
No, I didn't get the Pyra as the Aegis.
Yeah, Aegis is like the big valuable
Did you
thing,
get
and
it?
that is Pyra.
I can't pay attention to a lot of things, so I didn't get it, but I don't get a lot of things either.
Alright, so let's recap on the current crew.
Okay.
Current group. So you've got Malos and Sever, bad guy. Jin, bad guy, trying to capture Pyra, the Aegis. Rex is Pyra's driver. And I should mention this, it's not really gone over too much into detail. Nia just scoffs at it as, she's the Aegis, very special case. But when Rex touched Pyra's core crystal, she already had form. Unlike any other Blade, who needs to wait for the touch of a driver to take their form. But anyway, Rex and Pyra resonate like any Blade and driver would. So you've got Rex and Pyra, they are the main pairing. They've got the legendary Blade sort of status. Nia and Dromark, they're a normal Blade and normal driver. They're the healers of the group. Tigers are just healing blades. We don't get any context there.
And he's like water elemental, right?
Water element,
Yeah.
yes. Pyra is fire, obviously. I say obviously,
The name
Pyra.
and stuff.
yeah.
But does Poppy have an element? Because she's
Poppy-
artificial.
Poppy does get the earth element to start, but by playing a game Trigger, it's just a little side mini game.
Please tell me the name Trigger comes from the fact that he's a Napon.
Tiger, so I think. What is it? Doesn't matter what it is. Anyway, so yeah, that's a mini game where you can get more elements and more upgrades for Poppy. So potentially you could have a top tier Poppy right off the bat if you grind this game enough. It's really repetitive though.
Yeah!
Annoying.
I'm the kind of guy that would do that.
I tried to. It's kind of annoying though. Really annoying though.
I like grinded up to level 100 in Kingdom Hearts, and I found that enjoyable, so I don't know.
Well, anyway. So,
Nobody cares about your Kingdom Hearts skills, Roland.
sorry.
I found all 101 Dalmatians. What have you done?
I did that too, and I defeated both secret bosses and got Ultimate Blade. Shut up.
okay. So yes, you can upgrade Poppy to different elements, whatever one you want, except for light, which is just for
question.
Go
So
ahead.
what elements are there?
There are 8 elements. Each one has their own opposite. Water and fire, opposites. Wind and earth, I believe, are opposites.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is lightning? There's lightning, and what's that? The opposite. Lightning and ice. That's it. Don't really get that. There's just the 2 odd ones out. And then there's dark and light.
Well, ice actually, I believe ice is a. It's what is it? An insulator? It like blocks out.
I didn't come here for physics.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Nobody asked Roland.
Anywho, so yeah, that's the thing. So Poppy can become any element but light, which comes. You can make her light later with DLC in a special chest. So yeah, beyond that, that's great. So they rescue Nia. They run out, and Dougal stops them. He's got this huge blade with him with a massive boat-smashing mace-looking thing, and Dougal is an awful driver, so he just lets the blade fight for him, because the blade can infinitely heal itself. It's the smart thing to do, but it's also immoral because the blades can feel pain just like anything else.
Oh.
So that's mentioned in a small cutscene midway through the battle. Then you beat Dougal, he's not that hard. And you run out, or you realize that, Nia realizes that this is a trap. They told the public that she was going to be executed. She was really just going to be taken back to Morardane and probably tried there or something. She hadn't really done anything. She was new to the crew, she says, so it's not like she's done murder or anything. That's why she was so opposed to killing everyone. She's just new to the crew. That's just not how she rolled. So yeah, she's like, damn it, Rex, you idiot. This is a trap. Let's run and talk about this later. So they run out, but they are confronted by Morag and Brigid. Both together now as... Yeah, so... Yeah, and Morag is just kind of like, yeah, you fell for the trap, dummy. And she fights all 3 of them at once. That's a pretty tough fight. Actually, I had to grind a bit for that one. I did not enjoy it. It was just... And then the cutscene after says, no, you didn't win this one either. Because Rex is so inexperienced that even with the Aegis, and 2 others helping him, they can't defeat Morag, who's just really good at using her powers. It is stated that by Brigid that the coming of the Aegis, the Emerald Core Crystal, is a sign of doom and destruction. And the last time it happened, 500 years ago during the Aegis Wars, when the Aegis was awake, it took down 3 continent-level titans. Or, not
Can I have that?
Not continent-level, but 3 huge
So the
titans.
Aegis wants to get to the top of the world tree, right?
Yes.
Has Pyra given any explanation on that, or are we just trusting
Nope.
her?
Rex is just trusting her at the moment.
I mean, she's cool.
It has been brought up that by Nia that, hey, she might stab you in the back.
Yeah, everyone's like, dude, this thing is evil. And Rex is like, no, she's pretty. I'm just letting her to the world tree.
Yes, we know, the player will know that it's, that she's not. It's a scene I kind of skimmed over because it's not very important and forgettable. But Azurda, as the tiny little thing he is now, and Pyra had a small conversation while the rest were asleep. And he's just kind of like, oh, you look very different. So he knows her too. And she tells him, nope, don't have any ulterior motives. I need to get to the top of the world tree. And he doesn't have any reason not to trust her. So to the player, it's pretty like, yeah, she's not evil.
Okay.
It's just kind of constantly implied.
If you throw this twist at us, she's actually evil.
I don't think she's gonna be evil. She's cool.
Well, you'll see. Let's
Oh no.
I mean,
wait.
Twitter's still simping for her, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
come back to TV.
But then again, they're still simping for Shigaraki.
They're also
and they hate
Esdeath.
Endeavor, so I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, people have been simping for Esdeath for God knows how long.
Who's Esdeath?
Akame ga Kill.
Oh, right,
Doesn't
right,
matter.
so-
Ice Queen, total evil person,
Cool.
just sadist. So yeah, that's a thing. Anyway, Morag is just kind of like, yeah, I'm not letting anyone get their hands on this power. I'm going to get rid of it myself. It's never going to be used. No more Titans will be lost pointlessly. Because Titans are already diminishing and all that. Anyway, so Rex gives his common hero, like, you're not going to take her. I'm going to get her to the top of the world tree, and you can't stop me. So he throws a huge fire blast at her. Morag just says, no, and redirects it. Then Rex decides, okay, this is not working. We can't use brute force. We need to get smart. Last time they defeated Bridget and got away, they used water. So he looked around and sees a water tower outside of the fortress. So they make a run for it, followed by the greatest battle music ever, by the way. I love this soundtrack.
Please tell me the name of this song so I can look it up after the lecture.
I'll get that to you.
Okay,
I don't
just
have-
DM it, I guess. Put in the D.
Oh,
put in the
that's
DMs.
great news, but later. So anyway. Yeah, so they run to the water tower, barely making it there because Morag's, following them, and she's known for keeping her own area of influence, keeping people where she wants them.
Who's Morag again? Just
The
for-
driver of Bridget, the blue
Oh,
flame lady.
okay, yeah, okay.
Yes. And Rex even says, because he's 12, the strongest blade of the Empire, Bridget, because she's just strong, and the strongest driver in the Empire. Together, they're like ultra powerful. And that's what the cutscene's called, ultra powerful. So anyway, they run with difficulty. They get to the water tower, and Morag runs right into the trap. She runs to it. Rex throws one more big fire blast at her. She calls him predictable, launches it away, but it hits the legs of the water tower, because that's what Rex wanted. It's implied here that he can direct the flames, sort of, but we don't really have any.
So it is JoJo stuff. He meant to miss and hit the water tower.
Shush.
Okay.
So then Poppy comes over. After Rex fires a hookshot into the water tower, Poppy pulls the water tower down, which is now weakened because of the fire blast. And Bridget is doused in water. Rex and Pyra take the sword together, and they come down on her with their final move called Burning Sword. That's how you know it's an anime. They've got a final move name. That's a constant theme, by the way. You can look up all these final move names. Every Blade and Driver has one.
Can you use them in the combat?
Yes.
Heck yeah.
So anyway, yeah, they do that, but they avert their aim and just knock her out. They
Are
don't
we
want...
still on chapter 1, the encounter?
Oh, that's my bad. No, we are on chapter 2.
Aptitude!
Aptitude, named because aptitude for blade bonding. And
Yeah.
When did we get to chapter 2?
we got to chapter 2 right after the battleship scene,
Okay.
I believe. Yes, before they got to Gormont. And we are
Chapter
close to
2
chapter
out of
3.
10.
Yes, chapter
Yeah.
2 out of 10. Anyway, the rest, some of them will go faster than others. Where was I? Shoot.
Flame.
Train of
arrow.
thought. Yes, so they run away after knocking Morag out. Morag realizes that they went easy on her. Well, easy. They averted their aim. They did not go all out. They could have killed her, but they did not. So she's just like, interesting. I'm not going to hunt them down. I'm going to see where this goes, because that Rex kid, he had a good heart. He had a good heart. So yeah. They're still stuck on Gormont, though. After they run away, they're like, yeah, all the ships here are under the military control. We're not friends of the military. So they've got no way off. And then Tora brings up that he's got an uncle, just sort of there. He's a side character. He's there for plot convenience and plot convenience alone. So they go to his uncle, and he's like, oh, Tora, yes, you can have my ship, but you must help me finish the ship, which is an annoying, go collect the item quest. And then when you get back, the Titan has run away, so then you need to go and collect and get the Titan back, which is also annoying, because you have to run all across Gormont. It sucks. Anyway, but once you get all that stuff, you can, you leave. And they set sail for the World Tree immediately. They're going straight for it. As they are approaching the World Tree, they realize, hey, there's a great void here. Just around the World Tree. It's like a cloud fall. There's no real way across. Rex is like, well, yeah, we're this close, but how do we get across? He doesn't really know. Before that, Pyra seems kind of distant, like she's focused on something else. And because of that, she tells Rex, we need to get out of here right now. And before he can actually do anything, a giant robotic serpent shoots out of the cloud sea, and it's ticked. It's gonna eat them, or blow them up, or whatever. It's a robot serpent. So yeah, Pyra calls the thing Ophion, but we don't really get anything else other than, why can't you hear me? So clearly Pyra knows what this thing is, should be able to communicate with it, but cannot. So Ophion hits the ship away, they get away, and Ophion's just either very territorial or protecting the world tree. We don't really know, it's just a robot at this point. And they are sailing away, and they're panicking time. And so they don't even realize that this huge Titan is coming up, and it eats them. So the Titan ship that they borrowed from Umon, Tora's uncle, is just swallowed away, and everyone in there, they're now in the mouth of the Titan. Not great.
No, I don't want that. I don't want to be in the mouth of the Titan.
I didn't either, but here we are.
Oh.
So anyway, Gramps recognizes it as the Urian Titan. That's our next area. We stay here for a while. This is a thing. They go through. They know that the populace of Uriah is on the Titan's back. There's a way to get in and out of the Titan. That's just how big Titans are. They've got several openings into their bodies. So yeah, they...
Question.
Yes.
Is there a civilization inside of this Titan too, or do they all live on the outside?
We don't know yet.
Okay.
Yeah, but we'll get to that. So anyway, they start walking towards the back of the Titan. They don't really meet any huge resistance. It's the inside of a Titan. There are monsters there and whatnot, but yeah, other than that, after a while, they are confronted by Van Damme. This guy's he's a hulk of a man. He is huge. He's got these massive scars all over his face and arms. He looks really cool, actually. And he's got a unique blade named Rock, who uses these twin scythe weapons. So I know them as commas, but I figured
Sword things.
Not sword scythe things.
Oh wait, are they like? I think I know what you're talking about.
Oh.
Little sickles.
Yeah.
Sickles.
Sort of. They're not called sickles, but whatever.
Yeah, like he
Is
has
there
a
like
hammer and a sickle, and he
Hammer? No.
hammer and a sickle.
Is there
right?
like a chain connecting
Two sickles. Same
hammer
thing.
and a sickle.
No
I swear, if
hammer.
you say hammer one more time, I'm gonna beat you
making
with
a communist joke.
Roland Damaris!
Tommy, get out of here.
I deserve that.
I'm telling you what
Yes.
this means.
You're my demeritor. I don't know. You're quicker to it than I am. Anyway. So...
Question. Is there a chain connecting the two sickles?
No.
Damn.
They're
Okay,
separate
so he's not
weapons.
Axel Low.
Inferior.
No, so anyway, he's got these two...
Come.
Stop. So anyway, he's got...
Filter.
He's got these two basic drivers with him, and he tells Rex, hey, there's an emerald core crystal. That means you're the Aegis. And Rex is just kind of fed up with, hey, that's the Aegis, hand her over, sort of thing at this point. So they start fighting. Van Damme is going, supposedly, to take Pyra from him, like everyone else at this point. Yeah, and it's made clear again that Rex is very inexperienced. He uses too much of Pyra's energy at once, and she just can't supply that amount of energy to him fast enough. So she gets exhausted quickly. His blade deactivates, which makes it just a piece of metal, essentially. And he could have easily killed.
2 questions.
Go ahead.
Is this another fight that you win, but then lose it in the cutscene?
Yeah.
It sounds like a
I
really
love those.
annoying recurring pattern.
It is, but it really it goes to show that Rex is thrown into a world that he just wasn't ready for. He was a salvager. He was fighting crabs, and now he's fighting...
Giant enemy crab.
Also-
Giant enemy man.
Van Damme.
Giant
Van
enemy
Damme.
spider.
Who is Van Damme?
We don't really know yet. We just have his name.
Did we just randomly run into him on the inside of the Titan?
Inside of the Titan. Yeah.
Okay, so we don't know who he's affiliated with,
No.
or
Ah.
we're just like, oh, you're taking my... little
You're trying to
blade,
take
alright.
Pyra?
You're
Yeah.
bad.
Okay, we fight. So yeah, he could have easily killed Rex. He's got his weapon right up to his neck, and he tells Rex, yeah, you're a new driver for sure, because even with a legendary blade like the Aegis, you're gonna run out of energy if you use your fire like that. So then he introduces himself and his crew. They didn't mean them any harm at all. Van Damme just wanted to take a crack at the Aegis. So he's like, yeah, come over back to my little place. We'll have a meal for letting me take a crack at the Aegis. So he's a friendly dude. He takes them back to his little village called Garfont Village. It's a really great place. I don't know why I didn't label it here.
Yeah.
I really should have. But, yeah, so he runs a mercenary group. And most of the kids in the village are from those adventures, war orphans and whatnot. And yeah, that's pretty much that's just Venom. He's a chill dude. He's also a really good driver. He's pretty old, but he's got a lot of experience under his belt. So he takes Rex on a mercenary mission just cause they need more time with Venom. So and he teaches Rex another way to use his anchor to topple enemies, which is another combat mechanic that gets added to Rex's kit. Very, very useful. So he teaches Rex some stuff, and when they so they had been notified about a disturbance on the inside of the Orion Titan, and so yeah, they go and see what that is. We get this little cutscene of an ether miasma, which is just a wall of plain old spewing out ether. You can't cross it; it's poisonous. I should have said we are on chapter 3 now. Our own war.
All right.
That's my bad. That happened as soon as they got swallowed by the Orion Titan, I believe.
So wait, quick question.
Go ahead.
Is this a specific ether that's poisonous, or is like pure ether deadly?
Pure ether is just not great.
Okay.
And it just comes from Titans' inefficiencies in the body, just like any humans. Titans.
So ether's like still the magic system though, right? They still
Ether
use
is the
it?
power system. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So how do they use ether if it's like toxic?
It's just this kind of when ether
Do
condenses
they just
in this
like
way.
filter it through? What's it called? Blades, pretty much.
The ether?
Yeah, is it
Yeah,
kind
pretty
of
much.
like
The
filtered?
blade absorbs it from the atmosphere and sends it to the driver's weapon.
Okay, so the driver doesn't use it at all. It's all done through the blade.
The driver uses the ether that is given from the blade.
But the blade like filters all the bad stuff.
It's sent to the weapon which the driver uses. So the driver himself or herself cannot draw atmospheric ether energy by themselves.
So to use magic, you need a blade.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is what makes blades so much more efficient than just normal soldiers. Anyway, so what was yeah. Venom takes and teaches Rex a couple things, and they realize that the disturbance that they felt in the Titan was a dying Titan. Probably we don't actually ever get confirmation about this, but I think it's the one that crashed with them or something. It's dying. Something attacked it, and it is very much dying. And then, as soon as they're about to go take care of the mess, this giant spider appears, along with this beast-looking blade. And the spider starts attacking because it's a spider. It does that. Giant spider. It will eat those things.
This is a giant spider inside the Titan you're away.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, creatures live inside and on Titans. It's just how big Titans are. So yeah, just imagine Titans as giant caves, essentially. You can go inside. I hate you all.
But
Demerit.
You were snickering too. Don't even try.
yeah. Wait, can you revoke that demerit?
I revoke that demerit.
Yeah.
Tyler
And
gets
then
demerit.
spread one.
Paul,
to
you
all
get a
of you.
demerit.
Oh,
You all
Tyler
get
gets
demerited.
2 demerits.
Tyler, you can't give demerits anymore. It's Paul's responsibility.
Demerit
Yeah.
sleeping in
He
class.
He can just carry
Oh my
out your
God,
wishes or not. It's his
So
choice.
What?
Jackson, are you
Comfy.
okay?
He said it's
Yeah, I'm
comfy.
fine.
All right.
Okay, I thought you
What's
were
your
talking to
favorite
yourself.
character so far?
Yeah. Anyway, do we need a recap of the characters?
No,
Like we have Rex and Pyra, we have
Yeah.
Poppy and Tora, we have Nia and
Dromark.
Dromark, and then did we have anyone else?
We've got Grams,
Rock.
who just sort of stays in Rex's helmet.
Oh yeah, and then is Bridget with us?
No,
Okay.
they're still they're neutral at the moment.
All right.
They were against them, but now they're neutral. Anyway, so, yeah, Venom has now joined with his blade, Rock. He is a playable character now, but he cannot resonate with any blades. Whereas Nia and Dromark can. You can put more blades on Nia, Dromark, or Rex. Not whatever. So yeah, where was I? Yeah. So this spider appears with a blade, and it starts attacking them. They take out the spider pretty easily. It's not that big a deal. But as soon as the spider dies, the blade returns to its core crystal. So the spider was the driver of the blade. What?
That's funky.
Yeah. So somehow that spider touched the core crystal and it resonated with the blade. So you take that core crystal. It's a unique blade. You can resonate with it later. It's not a plot point. But Tora gets kind of jealous of the spider because, for whatever reason, a spider has more qualifications than his entire family line.
That's like having like a fucking tree with a stand.
Yeah. It's not.
Oh, that would be so absurd if that were to happen, Ed. Oh, jeez.
So anyway, Van Damme goes to the Titan that is dead. It's just a Titan corpse now. And it's just sort of messing with the bigger Titans.
Wait, Uruway is dead?
Huh?
Uruway is a corpse now?
Uruway?
I think he's talking about Uriah.
Uriah.
No, there's
Uruguay.
No, they are inside the Orion Titan right now, but a smaller Titan was disturbing the ether in there. Kind of if, like, you had a tiny human in one of your blood vessels, you want to get that out of there.
Okay.
It's just not a great thing.
So
that was
the
a
Titan
really
is
bad
fighting
example.
them, right? The Titan is against them?
Titan's just a Titan. It doesn't care. It doesn't know they exist.
So like it literally doesn't care about your crawling through their arteries and stuff. That doesn't matter to them?
It doesn't know. It'll eat whatever it wants. That's why Van Damme is stationed inside the Titan to go collect what it eats and fix what it eats that's bad for it. This one eats a lot compared to others.
Okay.
So anyway, the Titan just sort of evaporates into blue dust, kind of like Gramps did when he died. And Van Damme pulls a core crystal out of it. That's where core crystals come from. When Titans die, they dematerialize and they give birth to blades, essentially. So yeah, that's a pretty cool little thing. But yeah, so they go... Where does it go from there? Yes, they go back to Garfont Village, the village that Van Damme runs. And yeah, and there they... I think it was before. Rex and Pyra have a couple injuries, just cuts and bruises and whatnot you get from adventuring. And Van Damme realizes that, hey, why the hell is your blade injured? Because blades are supposed to heal, remember. That Dougal made a big deal about this. That blades heal everything. Unless their core crystal is touched, they will just heal right back up, like the Wolverine, I guess. You could cut their entire arm off.
Like gems!
Yeah, sure.
Like hologram from Red Dwarf.
Shut it.
They're literally gems and holograms. Look at this.
Yeah, sure.
That hologram thing was a joke.
Whatever. So, jeez. So yeah, that's an issue because Van Damme realizes, they tell Van Damme what happened and that Rex has half of Pyra's life in him in the chest piece that he has. And Van Damme's like, well, I've never heard of that before, but this is a really big issue because if one of you dies, the other will probably die as well. Just because you take the same injuries. If one of them gets cut on the arm, the other gets cut on the arm.
Oh, so are you telling me it's somewhat similar to Stan's?
Stop with the... Okay.
No more JoJo's reference.
No more JoJo.
He's got the JoJo mat. That's a JoJo mask, right?
This is JoJo, yes.
Okay.
I have the JoJo shirt on as well. That's all the JoJo we're
If
having.
you got a Naruto hoodie, you can make Naruto references.
Like, we get it. There's an entity that's separate from the person that fights for them. They're not always fans. Can we please stop referencing JoJo?
Okay, so it's kind of like a tailed beast.
No, not at all.
Can you please continue?
Yes.
All right, cool.
I would love to continue. Anyway, so at the base, at Garfont Village, they are suddenly attacked by Akos. Nia knows Akos. He's a member of Torna. We saw him earlier in an insignificant cutscene. I skimmed over. Basically, he can track them. He can track... His blade is some butterfly-looking chick. She's got the ability to manipulate ether and read it. So she can track down anyone from anywhere in the world. essentially, if she knows their ether pattern. And Aegis is a pretty... Oh, Mike, Ed.
Oh.
Okay, so this like bounty hunter tracker dude,
Mhm.
he's working with the bad guys who originally
Yes, with
like
Jin and Malos.
yeah Jin and Malice. He works with Jin and Malice.
Yes, they are part of the same group of Torna.
Okay.
No.
Anyway. So, yeah, they are attacked by Akos. Nia tells them, yeah, watch out. This guy can manipulate ether with his blade Abrona. Her name isn't important, but it's pretty cool. So, yeah, he's really hard. This is another one of those battles where you win, but then the cutscene says no. Because Rex is still just a pretty... Yeah, he's not a bad driver, but he's just fighting all these very experienced...
He's just horribly outclassed.
Yeah. Kind of like Sakura in Naruto. She's an
Yeah,
above
there
average
you go.
person, but she's just outclassed in everything she does. So yeah. Rex and Pyra almost die because Akos just injures Pyra to that degree. But then Van Damme, who was evacuating the village because Torna's a bad group. They don't... He's lost a few people to Torna. Van Damme has heard rumors that Torna is collecting core crystals by killing drivers and taking their cores. But he's lost some of his crew to Torna. So he's kind of ticked that Torna is here. So after evacuating the village, he just sort of... Yeah, he comes in and he says no to Akos. He just...
Good
What?
disguise.
You know what? Shut up. That wasn't a disguise.
I'm not complaining.
No, he, as soon as Akos is basically going to chop Pyra's head open, despite the fact that they want her alive, don't know what he was thinking there. But, Van Damme throws up a shield, and, yeah, and then he just kind of kicks Akos' ass. He disturbs the ether flow in the air around Abrona, so they can't manipulate the ether around them anymore. And then, after that, it's just a numbers disadvantage, so Akos runs away. Pyra is knocked out, though, and Rex is left also very weak. They make quick recoveries, though. While Pyra is sleeping, Van Damme kind of calls into question, hey, Rex, do you think what you're doing is good? Do you think I'm a good guy? Do you think he's a bad guy? The morality of their quest and everything. Alright, so, after Akos is taken care of, Pyra falls asleep, Rex is morally questioned, and then Van Damme takes Rex and the gang to the capital of Uriah, because they want to get off the Titan and to the World Tree. So as they are walking along, it's just a long road, it's not anything too difficult, they are confronted by a mysterious hooded figure and his blade. Small humanoid blade. Go ahead.
Is this Organization 13?
I don't know what Organization 13 is.
Alright, I dismissed my question.
Okay. So anyway, the guy takes his hood off and introduces him as Zeke von Genbu. We'll get into why he's...
Which one of those names are we going to use the most?
Zeke.
Oh, I wanted to say Genbu.
That name will come up again.
Alright, so Zeke.
Zeke, and his blade Pandoria.
And we're back.
Should I clap?
Yeah.
Okay. So Zeke and Pandoria challenge Rex for the Aegis, because, you know, people want the Aegis. Rex is just tired of this, but he's got Van Damme, Nia, and Tora on his side. So they fight Zeke. He's not bad. He's got this giant electric...
Is Zeke anybody important, or is he just another official of Uriah?
He is not Urian. He's not from Uriah. He is important later, but right now he's just comedic relief.
Okay.
He's funny,
He's funny.
and he's in a black hoodie?
He's got a pet turtle.
What?
His name is Turters.
Someone else clap. I can't be the only one that loves this.
Yay!
Yeah,
Turtles.
So anyway, after a quick fight that you actually win this time. Yeah, first cutscene fight where you actually win. Zeke is like,
Is this
yeah,
really the first cutscene fight in the entire game you win?
Yes.
that's against another driver and blade, pretty sure. I mean, you technically win the second Morag fight, but that was because of a cutscene. You kind of lost that fight, but then you won the war, sort of thing. So yeah, you push him back, and he's like, "Hey, you're good, but you're not good enough for my ultimate super chaos-bringing move." He also calls himself Bringer of Chaos or the Zekinator. He's got a lot of names. He's dumb.
Yes, Zekinator!
We never
Zeke
used-
Rocks 14.
at gmail.com.
Oh my god!
Anyway, okay, so he calls down a huge blast of thunder and then hits the ground. It's sort of like a powering up move or something. We don't know because he falls off a cliff. So he's just sort of gone. Yeah, he fell off a cliff. Everyone's just like, yeah, he was dumb. Let's keep moving. So you do. His blade fell with him, by the way. So yeah, you get to the capital of Uriah. I think that's just what happens. Yeah. You get to Fonsamima. Not important name, we don't really visit here too much after this. So yeah, as soon as you get there, you see that there are military preparations going on. There are just international tensions that they're preparing for war. It's not going to take much to spark a war. But yeah, as soon as you get into the city itself, though, you see that there are rations being handed out to a lot of people. This is not a great place of prosperity. A soldier comes out of nowhere, pushes a little girl aside, and he's like, "Give me some food, because I fought for this country. You didn't, little girl. I should be getting more food."
Is this shortage of food in any way related to the disappearing titans and loss of land that the entire world is facing?
Kind of. It's just because, yes, titans are disappearing, less land to farm on, and the older titans get, the less fertile they get.
Okay.
Just like normal land, yeah. So, is that my switch case you're using for... You know what, don't care.
No, it's not your switch case.
It says.
It's not, actually. Huh, it looks a lot like
SD.
my switch case.
Alright, get back to the lecture.
Shut up, Roland.
We have
Alright.
we have a schedule to keep.
We don't, actually. We had a schedule. That was 2
Schedule's
hours
dead.
ago. I killed it. Okay. Oh, there it is. Whatever. So yeah, once we get into the city, we see this soldier bullying the citizens, so we stand up to him, and he's an easy thing to fight. The cutscene, he's just flabbergasted. He's got a tiger blade with him, but
How many blades are there? It's like every
there are
guard in this
hundreds
city.
of blades.
You don't matter
Hundreds
in
of
this game
thousands.
unless you have
The
a blade,
blade-
it seems.
In this world,
Yeah, not
blades
really.
are everything.
You know what? If you make another My Hero Academia reference...
What? No, that was Black Clover.
No, that was... it does say something like that, but I...
Wait, what do you mean another My Hero?
Another-
That was
wait,
the second one we made.
That was the first one I made. What the
Yeah,
first
I made
one was-
the-
I mean, I didn't even
first
make
one.
it. It
What
was
was the first one?
What?
I was done after one.
I talked about like Shigaraki and stuff.
This is a Xenoblade 2 lecture.
That's fair.
I love My Hero.
Anyway, so they fight the guy, and he's like, "Oh, an emerald core crystal, oh no," and then he runs away. Seems everyone at this point knows about the Aegis and the emerald core crystal. Someone is spreading these rumors, doesn't really matter. So anyway, Van Damme is taking them to see his old friend Cole, who's just as old as he is. He runs a theater nearby, and on that day, they are playing The Adventures of Adam, named something like that. Adam is the legendary hero who fought in the Aegis Wars 500 years ago. Everyone really knows the history except Rex, because the player doesn't know. But yeah, 500 years ago, there was a great Aegis War. That's when the 3 titans that Morag mentioned way earlier fell.
Are we in the Aegis chapter now?
We are not. We are still in our own war. Chapter 3. It's a big point when Chapter 4 turns, so I will definitely tell you of that then. Anyway, yes. So they go to see this play because they think it's interesting. This is a play about Pyra, essentially, 500 years ago. She was in that ship for over 500 years. So she's old as hell, and she remembers everything, too. Normal blades, when their driver dies, they return to their core crystal. When they reawaken, they remember nothing. They're just a blank slate. So, yeah. That we are still on Uriah. We have hit neither of these points yet.
Oh no.
It's close,
Okay.
I promise. Very close, actually. So, they go to see the play, and Pyra's just sort of like chill about it. Hey, look, you saw those special effects? They were pretty cool. And Rex is just kind of like, yeah, you sure that the the worldwide war that you were in 500 years ago isn't bringing back any painful memories. And she's just, like, sort of chill with it. Anyway, so they go to see Cole after the play, and he welcomes them because Van Damme's with him. And he wants to talk to Pyra alone. Rex agrees to this. They all leave the room. Pyra and Cole know each other, supposedly. That's what it seems like. Cole mentions that she looks very different, kind of like what Azurda said.
Do we know Cole from
We do
anything
not
so
Cole.
far?
No, Cole is a new character.
Okay.
He is old as heck, though. His skin is, like, gray, but that's not, like...
Oh.
It's not really mentioned upon because different colored skin is just... Like,
That's
there's
normal.
a guy with blue skin, for all we know.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So they have a conversation, and... Yeah, so Cole's way older than he looks, though. He looks great for his age, honestly. Yeah, and after that... Yes, they ask Cole if he knows a way to the World Tree. He decides to think about it. He needs some time to think about this. As soon as that group leaves, Cole is confronted by Malos and Akos, I believe. Yes, Akos as well. And Cole is just like, it's just one blast from the past after another today, isn't it? So he knows Malos as well. He doesn't really know Akos, he's a new player. But... It's noise interference.
Sorry.
No, you're not.
You're right.
Sir, you're polluting the audio.
Anyway.
I'll do it again.
Yeah. So, Akos and Malos just sort of say, oh, so that group was here. The Aegis was here. What'd you tell them? See, if we... Ah, shoot. Messed this up a bit. But anyway, so they say that if he sells out Pyra, they can save him. He is slowly dying. Of ether deficiency. He's not doing too great. The ether in his... all living creatures are made up of ether. That's just a rule of thumb. But his body has just been decomposing for quite a while. Just stagnant ether flow. A Brona, who can manipulate ether, can fix this pretty easily if he sells out Rex and company. Yeah, but that doesn't go exceedingly well for them. He just kind of tells them to shove off. So, yeah, he's not doing too great. And when they leave, they decide to kidnap one of the children that Cole takes care of. Van Damme knows this child. She made a minor appearance a little while ago. Well, a little. When they entered the city, she made a minor appearance. Doesn't matter. Anyway, so in a dream, Malos appears to Pyra. We don't know how, but Malos shows up and he's like, yep, we've got this little kid. Come alone to the Colosseum if you want to save her. So she does. While everyone's asleep, she sneaks out. Yeah, so she goes to the Colosseum. Rex and company wake up. Pyra's gone, and that the child is also gone. Cole tells them all about it. And then. So they run to the Colosseum because Cole knows where they are, that he was threatened by Malos and Akos.
Can I do clarifying questions?
Go ahead. Ed.
Can I have the mic real quick? Okay, so Cole is dying from ether deficiency.
Correct.
Cole is like, look, there's some people who said they can cure me if I give them
He did not say that, no. No, he ran to tell them that the child had been kidnapped. He doesn't really he's not selling them out.
Oh, okay.
The child just got kidnapped because they were upset and they needed Pyra to go alone.
Why did he want to talk to Pyra alone then?
Because he knows her from ages past. He is over 500 years old. He
Okay.
knew her during the Aegis Wars.
Who is the child?
Child's just a random child.
Oh, really?
Cole takes care of her. We get her name. I don't remember her name.
Okay, so she's not relevant outside of the side
She's not relevant
quest.
outside of this.
Okay.
Well, side quest. This is a pretty major event, but that's beside the point. So anyway, so they run to the Colosseum. They go to save this child. Pyra goes alone first, and she's holding up pretty well for a blade without her driver. But she is up against 2 drivers and 2 blades. So she gets beat pretty bad. Rex and company show up, and the battle starts to save the child. It goes pretty well. You lose this cutscene fight because Akos can... Akos did not use this last time you saw him, but he uses this ability which in combat completely eliminates a lot of your actions. But in cutscenes, it disrupts the flow of ether between blade and driver. So the blades that drivers hold are completely useless now. He can catch them with a hand. And so none of them are used. It's a pretty bad beatdown despite the numbers advantage. Van Damme is the only one who can really do anything because, you know, he's Van Damme. He can do these things.
Who's Van Damme again?
The big black dude.
What? Is he a driver?
Yes, he's...
What's his blade?
Rock. The twin side.
Right, that guy.
Twin
Okay.
side. Yeah, he's... Honestly, he makes these pretty big side things look really, like, dinky.
I remember
and nice.
Rock. I just forgot about Van Damme.
Yeah. Okay, so... Yeah, this battle's looking really bad. Malos
Okay,
decides...
I thought you were going to take that off.
No, that cuts off somewhere.
What chapter? 6. Okay,
Like
7.
7, I think.
All right.
Maybe 8. Yeah, actually 8.
Oh, man.
No, 7. End of 7.
7.
End of
Okay,
7.
okay.
Okay, so anyway, Van Damme realizes, okay, this is really, really bad. I need to buy time for Rex and company to escape. So he shows Rex, he calls out to Rex, here's another thing you can do with a blade. So he stabs himself in the gut with his blade. And because it was stated earlier that a Brona can only manipulate... A Brona can manipulate the ether in the air. She cannot manipulate the ether in someone's body. So Van Damme is using the blade's ether to channel it through his body and use arts that way. So he gets really powerful for a bit and starts just overpowering both Malos and Akos. He tells Rex run, but naturally Rex does not because he is kind of just... He got beat pretty bad.
Wait, he doesn't run because he got
He does
beat?
not run, he's just on the ground watching.
Because he's no leg. His legs are he can't run if you're like on the ground and knocked out and in bad
He's not
condition.
knocked out, but he's watching Van Damme die. Van Damme is kind of... I mean, I can't really show it here too well.
But he's like just on the ground helpless, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I was
confused.
confused
He has the physical strength to get up, I think. It's more the shock that Van Damme just stabbed him.
Oh, okay.
Because, like, Van Damme's been quite... He's their good friend by this point. So yeah, Van Damme temporarily overpowers the 4 members of Torna that they are fighting. Malos, Akos, Sever, and Abrona. Don't expect to remember those. But anyway, but then Malos does the same thing he did in Chapter 1. Not sure if you remember me saying. He's got this dark purple energy. Purpley black energy.
Yeah.
He uses that to just once Van Damme is weakened, because, you know, he's stabbed, Malos just takes it and swipes away the rest of his energy, and then slashes him. Van Damme dies. Nia seems kind of concerned or nervous about something while Van Damme is dying. Like, she could do something, but she doesn't want to. Anyway, but that's just a quick thing that I should point out, because if I don't, whatever. So, yeah, Van Damme dies, Rock returns to his core crystal, and Rex gets upset, of course. So he charges right back into the fight that Van Damme told him to run away from.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I know, I really did not like this. Anyway, Malos grabs him basically by the neck, I don't really see where, and throws him to the side, and he's like, yeah, you're weak, and now I'm gonna kill you. So he actually goes for a killing blow this time, but Pyra barely gets to her feet and starts panicking. And then that's when this this stands for Van Damme dies, and I didn't want to put that because Van Damme's a character. So he's just dead. It's sad. But then this is where Mithra makes her appearance. Pyra, it has been stated multiple times that Pyra is not nearly as powerful as, say, Brigid. Brigid's flames were way stronger than Pyra's. They could offensively match her in battle, along with defend.
Wait, so what makes the Aegis so special?
Yeah,
It's
right?
weak as balls.
I'm getting to that right now.
Okay.
It's weak as balls.
Weak as balls.
Weak as bowls.
Yes. So, Pyra changes form, her body disintegrates and is replaced with Mithra's. I did not put a reference photo in the chat. Long golden hair and even less clothes.
We'll
Yeah.
pop one in on the screen right
Yeah.
Think Pyra, but with white clothing and blonde hair. But
Yeah.
maybe less clothing? I don't know.
Less clothing.
Yeah.
So anyway, this form of Pyra, or as we are immediately introduced to as Mithra, yeah, she says that Pyra is a form that Mithra constructed in herself. But there was no time to explain because they were currently under attack. So
Hold up. So Pyra isn't real. Pyra is just a construction
Pyra
of
is
Mithra.
very real. But it's an alternate self that Mithra constructed with less power.
So Mithra is the real blade.
Mithra is the Aegis. Pyra is as much of an Aegis as Mithra, just not nearly as powerful.
Is Pyra like a part of her personality, or did
Kind of.
Aegis create Pyra?
Okay, this is where I was always a little confused. But okay, I'm gonna go into the expansion pass Old Torna. When Mithra won the Aegis Wars 500 years ago, there was a lot lost.
Oh, that's why Pyra doesn't remember any of this.
Pyra remembers, but like Mithra was there. It's just sort of, it's weird. But yeah, when Mithra saw everything she lost, even one child that was important to her, she kind of went ballistic and just sealed herself away within Pyra. So Pyra uses the power from the seal that leaks out of Mithra. That leaks out of Mithra's seal. Mithra's seal is not perfect. She woke up, so therefore she is active. So anyway, Mithra is way more powerful than Pyra ever was. She is a light elemented blade that can call down pillars of light destruction from the sky. Yeah. So anyway, Akos and Malos are helpless to do anything against Mithra. Despite the fact that Akos is able to manipulate an ether in the air, Mithra is not drawing from ether. It is confirmed. I didn't really get this for quite a few run-throughs, but I later understood this. I will explain later. Mithra does not use ether energy. And so, yeah. Their ultimate move, which is also used in combat, is Sacred Arrow. Essentially,
This is Mithra's ultimate move.
Mithra's ultimate move with Brex. The blade changes form too. It's now no longer single-sided, it's double-sided, just a white, holy-looking blade. So yeah, Mithra completely destroys the two of them, and she even sent her light arrows from the sky, hit Abrona and sever the blade's core crystals. They do not destroy them, but it makes them revert to their core crystals, as if their driver had died.
We are back.
Okay, so, where were we? So yes, the enemy blades revert to their core crystals. There's nothing they can do about this endless barrage of light arrows that fall from the sky. Malos realizes, hey, this is a really bad situation, let's run. Akos seems particularly destroyed that his blade was just, like, taken from him. It's kind of like watching your best friend die in front of you. Yeah, so that's kind of brutal. But Malos makes Akos run away with him, and Mithra is pissed. She really does not like the fact that Rex made her wake up, despite the fact that it was her choice to wake up and save him. So she hands it off to Pyra, who faints, and that's the end of Chapter 3. Van Damme dies. And moving on to Aegis.
Woo!
Chapter 4. Shut up.
What do you mean, shut up? I'm excited.
You know what? Be excited mentally. So, anyway, it cuts to a flashback, that's the word, of 500 years ago, when Mithra was raining hell down onto the land, destroying forces of evil during the Aegis Wars, and in the process destroys an innocent village. We don't really get much context here, it's just Mithra destroying evil and the village, which is not great. But yeah, that happened. Then it, pretty sure it cuts to Pyra, yes, cuts to Pyra explaining, her backstory. She is not holding too many secrets anymore, and she reveals to them that there are 2 Aegises in the world. She is not the only one. Malos is also an Aegis.
Wait, Malos is a blade?
Yes, Malos is a blade. He is an Aegis.
Okay. I just wanted to clarify that.
Clarify that, yeah.
Okay.
Wait, question. So Malus is a blade, but he uses a blade?
Mhm.
Can blades use other blades?
Not normally.
Oh.
So
Aegis
Malice is a special case.
Very special case.
This
Yes.
Well,
will be
he's an
explained
Aegis.
later, probably, right?
Yes.
Alright.
Yes, at the very end.
Alright.
So, anyway. So yeah, Pyra explains that. And she's just kind of like, yeah, 500 years ago, Malos tried to destroy the world by himself. What is this?
Shut up, go away.
Clue, but we are not going to worry about
Focus.
that.
I don't want to worry about it now, though.
Focus.
Okay, I'm focusing. Shut it.
Aegis.
Anyway, yes, Aegis.
Aegis, okay.
I know, I pronounced it Aegis when I first saw it. It took a while. Anyway, so yeah, she tells the story of how she and Malos came to be. They are both they are the only two Aegises in Allrest at the moment. So way before the Aegis Wars, a man managed to climb to the top of the World Tree. He just climbed to the top. And when he got to the top, he didn't find the Architect or Elysium. He found nothing but two core crystals. Mithra's and Malos's. So he took those down as proof that he climbed to the top, and there was nothing there. And so yeah, he brought those down, and he resonated with the black one, Malos's. Malos
These
tried
two
to-
crystals were from the top of the World Tree?
from the top of the World Tree.
So they
yes.
were already pre-existing when this guy climbed.
Mm-hmm. And there's no Titans up there. So yeah, he climbed down, resonated with Malos. Malos tried to destroy the world, so they gave the other one to the hero Adam. We don't get to see Adam's face until you play the old Torna game.
Is his name spelled A-D-A-M, or is this like a weird-
A-D-A-M.
Oh. I'm disappointed.
Why?
Well,
What
be
were you
disappointed
expecting?
somewhere else.
Okay,
sir.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, so yes, Mithra defeated Malos 500 years ago, and for whatever reason, he has been quiet until now. And yeah, I don't think we get there with this backstory. I need to make sure so I don't miss or reveal too much. Yes, okay. And at the end of the Aegis Wars, Mithra was replaced by Pyra and sealed away by Adam for some reason. Yes, after that, I believe... Yes. Then Cole, the old man who's dying of ether deficiency, stagnant ether flow, whatever you want to call it, he tells them that he knows who climbed the World Tree. It's his driver. And he gives that...
Wait.
Cole is a blade, in a sense. Let me explain.
Okay.
Whoa.
Things are getting a little too complicated.
Yeah, he gets nuts.
Oh no.
Yeah.
You are a blade.
You, the player behind the controller.
Or a driver for Rex, who is a blade.
See, there's...
Alright, Cole, got it.
It's funny. I will get into reasons why this is hysterical to me right now. Anyway, so Cole tells them, yeah, my driver's over in Indol. He knows how to get up the World Tree. You go see him, give him my weapon, which is his blade weapon. It's just a dinky little knife. And he's like, yeah, go see him. So yeah. Why did they end up there? I'm sorry.
Dude, this looks like a complex game to sift through. You have our
Yeah.
infinite forgiveness.
Yeah, and I
don't have my
know a bit
forgiveness.
about this.
I'm mad at you, Paul.
I know a
How
bit.
dare you?
I kind of wish I played the game beforehand now. This is lit. This
Yeah.
plot's lit.
I know a bit of the game, and it is
Hush,
like...
I need to explain Cole.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, so Cole is not a blade. Not necessarily. He is a flesh eater, which is a blade who has eaten drivers. He's taken on the form of a human. He is flesh and blood, not pure ether like a normal blade. So that's why he's dying, because he's a failed experiment, essentially. Flesh eaters were an attempt to immortalize humans, because both humans and blades are very limited by their years, the years of humans. But if you were to make a blade whose driver was itself, essentially, then you'd have an immortal being. But Cole was a very failed experimentation, one of hundreds. He's actually lived for a very long time considering this. Cole fought in the Aegis Wars right alongside Mithra too, so he knows that's how he knows Malos.
Can I ask a clarifying question again?
Go ahead.
Why were the original Aegis Wars fought again?
Malos tried to destroy the world.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so just he's a psychopath. Anyway,
Oh, that's why everyone's so scared of the Aegis.
yeah,
Because they're...
Malos and Mithra both fighting. They both had to go all out, so they took down 3 Titans with them.
Okay.
The big Titans. That's not counting the tiny Titans that they took out. So, yeah, I should have mentioned. It doesn't really show us, but Rock returned to his core crystal. Rex picked it up for later. After Van Damme died. So they try to go to, I think they try to go to Mor Ardain. After going back to Garfont Village and explaining, hey, your leader kind of died. So yeah, that was an issue. That's a thing. They had a funeral for him and everything. It was sad. Okay, so they are planning to travel through the Empire of Mor Ardain to get to Cole's driver, who is way over here in Indol. So we've got a ways before they actually get to Cole's driver. But, so they travel to Mor Ardain on Titan, and there's a little side quest that, because, well, okay. Further explanation. When a core crystal returns to it, when a blade returns to its core, it's got a bit of time before it can actually resonate again. It'll start glowing blue, but until then it is just it's this but pitch black. Then it'll start glowing when it can resonate.
So the check engine light turns on.
Yes. Rock's core crystal starts glowing again as soon as they're at the port, because it takes a while to get to the port. This was just a mindless trek. But as soon as Rex is considering resonating with Rock, but he's just like, I don't know, can I live up to Van Damme's reputation and be the driver of
And
Rock?
Rex is already controlling 2 different,
Aegises, yes, and whatever else you resonated with him.
Wait. So he has Poppy, which is the artificial...
Tora
blade.
has Poppy. Poppy could resonate with anyone else, but gameplay-wise, sticks with Tora.
Gotcha. How did we capture the second Aegis?
Capture, not so much. It's not so much capture, so as Mithra and Pyra switch. Like, if Mithra wants...
Oh, so you're counting those as 2 separate Aegises for
Yes.
Rex to... Okay.
Yes.
So I thought somehow Rex resonated with the big bad.
No.
And I was like, when did I miss that? Okay.
No, Malos escaped. No, Pyra and Mithra are specifically 2 different people. Though.
Okay.
They are similar because, you know, they have the same core crystal, but yeah, they're very different.
Thank you for clarifying. Sorry
That's
to
my-
offshoot us.
No, ask any clarifying questions, please. Okay, so where was I? Right, so Rex is just kind of debating, should I resonate with Rock? I'll put him in my bag, think about it later. Rock gets stolen by these kids whose village was burned down by evil drivers, just generic evil drivers. They needed side quest. So you hunt down these children, and after a quick little fight that you easily win,
Against the children?
Whoa, another fight, we win.
the children have little pet chickens and whatnot.
Are they drivers for the chickens?
No, the chickens are not drivers.
Or I thought
they
the chickens were the
blades?
blades. Okay, so they're just having chickens fight you.
Yes. It's kind of sad.
Oh wait,
Anyway.
and like real quick question. They're not called humans in this world, right? They're called like Homs?
That's
Yes.
the first one. No.
Oh, these are
and
just
these are
humans now.
humans.
It's different.
Okay.
This is the second universe.
That's so weird to me.
It's a different dimension, so yeah, there are different rules and everything.
I thought they were just in the sky of one.
No.
Okay.
No, the Cloud Sea exists in the first one, but that's the first one, not the second one.
Alright, you
does?
thing. So they kill a bunch of kids, right?
No, no,
They
kill the
fight a bunch of chickens.
They kill the chickens, which are the kids' pets, and the kids are like, "No, we need this core crystal to avenge our town." And they're like, "Yeah, no, stealing is wrong. Just tell us where to go. We'll kick these guys' ass." So they do that, and they tell the kids, "Go locate the authorities. Tell them that the people that knocked down the water tower are going to invade the city at this location, at the location of the hideout." Knocking down a water tower is rather expensive, as you might imagine. So Rex is kind of infamous. So yeah, they go and they find an ether miasma in the way. So that's just kind of the excuse to get Rex to resonate with Rock. So he does that. They get rid of the miasma. Rock has the unique skill to get rid of ether miasmas. So they go to the hideout. They destroy the...
We're still in Uriah, right?
Uriah, yes.
Okay.
Yes. I feel like we're in Gorman.
Yeah, you did mention the water tower, so I assumed
yeah.
we were in Gorman.
We are in Gorman. How did we get here? I'm sorry.
Well, how did we get here?
Shut up.
Yeah, 'cause I never remember us traveling from Uriah to Gorman.
No, I thought we were already like inside Uriah, so I assumed we just went to the top, right?
Oh, wait. Yes, we're in Uriah. We were in Uriah, and now we are traveling to get to
Indol.
the different titans way over here.
Yeah.
We don't get there for a
See,
while.
teacher, I'm paying attention.
Yes.
Why are we beelining the
There
world
it's-
tree again?
Sorry?
Why aren't we beelining the world tree?
Because we need to know. Ophion, the giant metallic snake thing that stopped them
Right.
the first time, is still there, and someone clearly knows how to get past it. Oh crap! Okay, I'm kind of dumb. So they go to the Argentum Trade Guild just as sort of travel plans, just a travel stop. That's where Rock's core crystal is stolen.
Okay.
The kid steals a ship. They borrow a ship from one other side character to chase the kid, and it leads them to Gormont. That's my bad.
This makes so much more sense.
Yeah.
I thought this was all taking place in Uriah. Okay.
No, that's
Okay.
my bad.
Oh, here, audience. Those are the 3 places.
Yeah. This is not great.
But no, I got it. Right now, we are in Gormont because we got sidetracked on Argentum
By a
in
child.
our trip to go to Indol. To
Yes.
fight learn about the giant metal snake thing, so
Not
we can get to
necessarily
the
the
world
snake,
tree.
just to learn how to get to the world tree. Someone clearly knows how to get past it.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, okay, so that's my bad. Small sidetrack.
One last question. What's special about the world tree again?
On the top is supposedly Elysium and the architect who created the world. And
Oh,
humans.
that seems pretty cool.
It's
I want to
pretty
go
cool.
there.
Yeah, people have been trying to get there for a while, but this giant snake is an issue. Anywho, where are we? We are still in chapter 4. My. Okay. So yeah, they take care of the bandits. The soldiers arrive because they were tipped off by the kids. And the bandits get arrested. Rex and company gets away pretty nicely. They get the kids' village was burned down by these evil drivers, and they're orphans now. So Rex manages to get them little jobs at the Argentum Trade Guild, way over here, because that's just where he happened to be, and he's got a lot of pull there. He's a pretty well-known salvager to some people. So he figures that kids that can pickpocket as well as they can, they'll make fine salvagers. So yeah, then they just kind of ignore them. They take a boat to Morardain, again on the way to Indol. So once they get to the capital, they are approached by a Nopon named Mui Mui. You don't need to remember his name. He's into.
I'm going to remember his name anyways because that's an amazing name.
So he tells Tora, "Hey, you remember me? I was your Data Pawn's assistant." And Tora doesn't for a second, and then he blatantly insults him
Oh.
for something, and like, "Hey, you're this dumb guy," or something like that.
Internalized Nippon racism.
Yes.
Oh.
Anyway, so Mui Mui, he tells Tora, what does he tell him? Yeah, so Mui Mui was the assistant of his father and grandfather while making the artificial blade, which was not Poppy. Poppy was made by Tora alone. They were working on a different artificial blade which disappeared when his grandfather was murdered and his father never recovered. We don't know what happened to him. He's still alive though, spoiler. So yeah, Tora's just like, "Oh, hey, cool to meet you," and then they say goodbye, because they don't really have any... Mui Mui doesn't know what happened that day either. He was out shopping, he came back to his Grampy Pon's corpse. And so yeah, then there's the hot springs scene.
Oh no!
Wait, so nothing that just
Nothing of
happened
importance
mattered?
happened, so we can skim over it,
Nothing
right?
of importance
Actually,
happens.
one reference
Okay.
that I must... So, over in the... So Mithra decides to make an appearance. She's like, "Yeah, I wanted to bathe, so here I am."
Oh no!
So yeah, Poppy, it's just sort of mentioned that She was made out of a special alloy. No need to worry about rust. She doesn't rust. That's cool. Then when Nia gets out of the bath, of course there's steam blocking everything.
Good.
Wait, okay, wait. I think I remember seeing clips of this. She's like, "Oh, shut
This is
up,"
the first.
and then slaps him. Is that it?
No. Not
Yeah, this was the
No,
Etika
not that.
thing, right?
No. Okay. Anyway, so when Nia gets out, Mithra notices something. So does Poppy, and
Oh no!
and she asks Nia if she. Oh god, this is gonna sound bad because you people are inappropriate fucks.
I can handle it. Test me.
Do you want to keep this a secret for now?
Let's keep going. Let's keep going.
No, let's do it. Test
Let's
me.
do it.
Test me.
Let's do it.
No. That's what she says. Do you want to keep this a secret for now?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't even get
Oh.
that.
Oh.
You go. Okay, that didn't go where I thought it would.
Yeah,
Anyway.
we're mature.
No,
we're
you're not.
adults here.
Shut up. One of those statements was correct. Anyway, so then it cuts out because there's a ruckus going on outside. Everyone runs out, and the guards are being taken out left and right by someone in a cloak who's just running through and annihilating these people. So Rex and company gives chase because, you know, when someone is doing something. Yes. Yes, loud noise. Just a loud noise. So they run and see who it is. Someone who is immune to bullets.
Whoa!
Yeah, just running through the guns, kicking the crap out of these guards. And they throw their cloak aside for whatever reason. It is Lila, the artificial blade that Tora's Grampy-Pon and Data-Pon were working on. Tora recognizes her immediately and runs after her. After a short fight, Lila realizes, oh, can't win this, run away. So she runs away. And then Morag makes another appearance. The
Morag?
driver of Brigid.
Okay.
The Blue Flame. She is the strongest blade in Mor Ardain. They
Are
in
we
the
still in
capital.
Gormat right now?
No, they drove to Mor Ardain.
Okay, we're in Mor Ardain right now.
Yes, Mor Ardain.
Okay. And we're still on Aegis?
Aegis, yes.
Yes. I'm still gonna say Ouroboros, though, just so you all know.
I hate you.
I hate you too.
So Brigid realizes, hey, there's a metal person in your mix. You must be the person I got reports about. Lila, the person who was just recently kicking the crap out of all the guards. So Morag and Brigid start fighting. Yeah, I'm so dumb, I worded that so wrong. They start fighting the group. Morag and Brigid against the 4 of them. 3 of them. My bad. Anyway.
You just deleted one real quick.
Well, Venom died, so
yeah,
shut
3
up.
of them.
So yeah, this time Rex is way more experienced, and now he has Mithra. They don't want to go all out, though. Shut up, sir.
What did I do?
I thought you were mocking me.
No. I was like that. Like Rex is actually cool now.
Yeah, he's pretty cool now.
Does he have drip yet?
The little thing gives him a little
All right,
more.
all right.
But don't worry,
He's dressing.
he gets more. He gets
He's
more.
a salad.
He gets
He's
so
dressing.
much more drip.
All right.
Anyway, so after the cutscene, it's shown that Rex and Pyra and Mithra are going easy on Brigid and Morag. They don't want to go all out. Oh crap, I should probably mention, this is important. Mithra has another ability, similar to Shulk's Foresight in the first one, if you're familiar.
Yeah.
Mithra has Foresight as well, in a sense. She does not see visions like Shulk does, but it's a very focused ability. She has to consciously use this Foresight, but she can let her driver and herself see a prediction of the immediate future. Only immediate, not really not anything long term. It's just strictly combative. So yeah, that's why Rex is able to go easy on skilled opponents like Morag and Brigid. But anyway, so Morag's like, okay, stop going easy on me. This is really annoying and hurts my pride and all that. And then they are stopped by another Nopon, a Mor Ardanian Nopon who Morag knows. I don't remember who exactly. I think it's Nira. I don't know how they say it. Whatever. He's like, yeah, this isn't the same robot that was attacking your groups. Morag apologizes and it's like, okay, yeah, let's work together to solve this because Tora is now super invested in this, as you would be if your dad's and grandfather's legacy was found on the road. So yeah, the Morag just sort of like tells you, yeah, if you find anything, come see me. And Tora goes to find. After a little bit of questing, you get information from the townsfolk, and you bring it back to Morag, who basically tells you, okay, yeah, go check out this factory that's way down at the bottom of Morardane, way below the city. So they do that.
Clarifying question.
Go ahead.
We're in Morardane as a stopping point on a trip to Indal, right?
Yes, we were, but now we are invested in this.
Yeah, but why did we stop in Morardane? Just to refuel?
Just refuel and everything. Yeah.
But then we got invested in this artificial blade.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Artificial blade business. So yeah, that happens. Shoot. Knocked off me train of thought. Yeah, okay.
Factory under the ground.
On the road to the factory, Zeke shows up again. Yeah, just
Turter.
Yeah, Turters shows up again too. He's pretty cool. Pandora, and he's like, "There's no cliffs here this time, so I'm invincible." Yeah.
That's big talk for someone within Mithra distance.
Yeah, Mithra probably could have handled it.
Oh.
But no, she does not use the beams of light.
Oh.
Wait, we'll show where they come from.
Wait, is Zeke like a villain? I thought he was just
He's comedic relief right now.
Okay, so he's just like a silly guy that pops up every
Yeah.
now and then. Okay.
So he shows up after a quick fight. He's like, okay, super lightning, ultra chaos move, whatever, bringer of chaos. He hits the ground again, and is this time hit by a boulder that the force of his strike causes to fall from the cliff above them. So he gets chased off by that. They're just kind of like, yeah, we're not surprised. So,
Dude, I just love it that they're just on this grand adventure, and this one guy just keeps popping up that halt, travelers! I will stop you! And then he kills himself.
Yes. So this time they get crushed by a...
blade is poison and licks it.
I shouldn't have leaked that. Anyway. So yeah, they get to the factory pretty easily. Zeke has pretty much killed himself. He's not dead. He'll show up later. Oh, okay, we are getting close to when he shows up again, though. I can zoom through this part. It's basically just a factory. They find inside the factory, after running through it, artificial blades are being mass-produced. They look nothing like Poppy or Lila. They look like little gargoyles or something.
Alright.
But yeah, they're great. Well, not great. It's not great that they are being mass-produced, because they all know something really bad's going on here. Inside, they find a Mui Mui. The Nopon that was the assistant to his dad and grandfather.
Wait, he's working on the artificial... Oh, no.
He kidnapped his dad.
Oh, things are getting spicy.
Spicy.
Uh-oh.
To anyone watching the cutscene of the flashback, you'd know that it was Mui Mui because it was just Mui Mui in silly glasses. So it was not.
Who's Mui Mui again?
He's the
that little
assistant of his
Nopon.
grandpa. No?
Yeah.
Oh,
Was
okay.
the assistant.
Okay.
And then disappeared.
Gotcha.
And then Bana is also there, the chairman of the Argentum Trade Guild, who wanted Pyra and way back when. He hasn't showed up in a while. But yeah, so they are both they're preparing these for war, because if you can't make money during war, you just can't make money. So yeah, that happens. What next? So yeah, they basically take down this giant artificial blade called Rosa. It's just Lila with a big head. It's just a bobblehead Lila. That is controlled but from the inside. So yeah, they take that down. Mui Mui's knocked out. They rescue Tora's dad, and they also recover Lila, who is being controlled by some device that she crushes on her own, because Poppy said, hey, that's not your master. So yeah, that happened. It was a heartwarming thing between Poppy and Lila, because they're basically sisters. So Nia and Rex, along with their blades and whatnot, they run off to find Bana, whereas Tora stays behind with his father to console the dying Lila. She was beaten pretty badly because she was under the control of Bana. So, right, I should also... It's not super important quite yet, but it's honestly never super important. It doesn't matter. Bana was after Poppy's enhanced ether furnace design, which was the only missing component to Lila. She was a perfectly functioning artificial blade, But with the ether furnace, which allows her to function as a blade, drawing ether in and whatnot, the only reason Lila wasn't quite as good as Poppy was because of the ether furnace. But Poppy's ether furnace was never fully ignited because she was just kind of incomplete. So Lila uses the rest of her energy to fully ignite this enhanced ether furnace.
Start, clap. Good.
That spooked me.
Yeah, good. Pay attention, class. Anyway, so Nia and Rex are following Bana. Oh crap! I did this out of order.
Oh no!
Shut the hell up.
No.
So they fight Lila. They defeat Lila, and then Tora and I keep saying Tora.
There's a lot of names.
There's a lot of names.
Nia?
Rex and Nia.
Okay.
They follow Bana, who ran away, along with Mui Mui. That's when the two of them start fighting Rosa, this giant robot, artificial blade. And it's looking pretty bleak. Mithra is indoors. She can't use her power without taking down the building on top of them. So that's the one restraint of Mithra's overpoweredness. She can't use it indoors. So they can't really defeat this giant robot. It's very powerful. But then Tora comes back after Poppy's ether furnace was ignited. And that's when you get the second form of Poppy, Poppy QT. Made Poppy. So, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
There's a lot of drama here.
Yeah. So basically this is Poppy 2.0, essentially.
Wait, does she become stronger now?
Become stronger, yes.
Woo!
What caused this change again?
Lila, with her dying energy, fully ignited Poppy's enhanced ether furnace, which is why Poppy is able to use ether like a blade normally would.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a thing.
I follow. I follow enough.
Yeah. So basically, Lila died to give Poppy a power-up. So yeah, after that, they destroy Rosa, and Bana runs away, like the coward he is, to the ship port right next to them. It's like a private ship port for Bana. He's trying to get on a ship, but he is stopped because, his weapon has been defeated. He's stopped, and they start telling him off. If you don't stop the manufacturing of these artificial blades, we're going to report you to the trade guild. They're going to be very interested in all the things you've been doing.
Did he just build these blades to have more power in trade negotiations?
Yep.
That's so underwhelming.
Nope, that's not great. Nope, that's not what happened. I'm sorry. They are preparing for war. We don't know exactly where they came from yet, but this was a custom order. This was a big deal.
Wait, so we know Argentum is involved and that they're built for a war, but we don't know what this war is.
Argentum is not involved at all. Bana is. Bana is just the chairman of the trade guild. This is a personal investment of his. So Argentum is not at fault here. In fact, Rex was threatening to report him to the council on Argentum. If he didn't stop manufacturing.
So we don't know what this army is for.
Not yet, no.
Jeez, okay.
We will find out right here, though. Okay, so as they are negotiating, they are attacked by two more new members of Torna that we have not seen yet. Petroka and Mikayla, with their blades. Petroka wields this one blade that has a hammer, a spear, what else, crap? Despite having numbers advantage and, Mithra, they can't really beat them. It's like fighting a small army. You've got a master of offense, which is Petroka, the multi-weapon blade, who also has a cannon. That's the cannon is the weapon the driver uses, while the other four weapons are used by the blade itself. What's it called? Doesn't matter.
Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, pretty much. And then Mikayla is just impervious defenses. So it's like fighting a small army. They can't really win. That's when Bridget shows up along with Morag, and they're like, I leave you children alone for 5 seconds. And you need help. And so they start helping, and they manage to force them to the edge where there is a point that Mithra has calculated is just sturdy enough to withstand one hit from the beam of light that can take out their blades, which is the real issue here. So they force them into that area after a small fight, and Yeah, their blades return to their cores. Petroka gets really ticked. Not so much sad, not like Akos was when his butterfly blade poofed. So she gets upset. Mikayla doesn't really care one way or the other. He's just kind of like, well, damn. And then Petroka starts unleashing some weird dark energy from herself. Her blade is gone and she's just angry. She wants blood. And just as soon as that starts, something starts suppressing her. Just like gravity increases like 20 times on her. She can barely move. From the background, there's this one... I don't really... She's introduced as Fan Lenorn, who Mithra seems to recognize as she walks by. She has the power to suppress blades and titans with her staff. She's really cool. Anyway, she's suppressing Petroka while she's trying to murder everyone. And Mikhail's like, yeah, we need to get out of here. So he picks up Petroka and jumps onto the ship that we saw earlier, the black all-metal ship, no titan involved. Yes, the one way back when.
Okay.
So it shoots at them. Morag just sort of pokes at the cannon bolts and they explode in front of her. No problem. But,
Okay, clarifying question.
Go ahead.
So, based on the fact that they're jumping on that ship, we know that this, fake blade army was being made for the bad guys.
Yes, it was being made for Torna. Jin, Malos, Akos, and now these two, Mikayla.
And we don't know what their goal is, but we know that they're evil. They're from the dark.
Yes, they want the Aegis for themselves.
Gotcha. Their motive's still vaguely unknown.
Vaguely unknown, yes, correct.
But they built this army. We just stumbled upon it. We stopped
they
it. They
funded the army. And Bana got the materials to make it, yes. So,
okay,
yes,
on the same page.
This army is for them. And now that they're gone, there's not really anything that they can do except leave it to the Moradane authorities. And they're with Brigid and Morag, who are the top authority in Moradane. So that's a thing. They've got it pretty much set. This factory is under the jurisdiction of Moradane now. It's in good hands. Anyway, so Fan Lenorn, the person that just appeared and suppressed Petroka. Yeah, she's from Indol. She has the same driver as Cole, who is introduced. He's not there. He's over in Indol. He's the praetor of the Indol Titan. Yeah, the monarch. Yeah. He's the monarch the leader of the Indolian Titan. He's very respected, very high power, even among other countries. Anyway, and. Oh, right. I forgot about this cutscene. Then it switches to Jin on this ship that Mikayla and Petroka are also on. So Jin was there. He just didn't show up. And he looks at a girl frozen in some sort of she's just frozen in a capsule, much like Pyra's. And we know that this girl is named Laura. We don't know why Jin seems to have some attachment to this person, but he does. Then it cuts to a flashback. This person, Laura, who we just saw, is sparring with Adam, the legendary hero, at using Mithra. She is using the blade Fan Lenorn, who we just saw. I'm not sure if it refers to the name. Okay, in this flashback, Fan Lenorn is referred to as Hayes. So different names, but clearly the same person. Same blade, rather. So, Adam tells... they have short conversation. Laura says, if you start to go all out with the Aegis, then I'm just going to have to revert to my original blade and whatnot. Who we don't know who it is. But, yeah. And yeah, after their little sparring match, they sit down for dinner, and Jin walks up. He was there 500 years ago in the Aegis Wars. Adam wants to spar with Jin, But Jin just kind of says, I don't like fighting. He's a pacifist.
Isn't Jin one of the bad guys?
Jin is one of the bad guys in this current day and age. But back then he was fighting alongside Mithra.
Okay.
He was a pacifist back then, but he's clearly not now. He is on a killing spree of hundreds of thousands. Yes, Van Lenorn introduces herself as the convoy from the Indoline Praetorium. The Indol is basically the house of the leading religion in Alres, which we don't really get into much. She introduces herself as the Blade of Amalthus. That's Cole's driver as well, and we will see Amalthus later. He is an important character. Yeah, Amalthus basically overlooks everyone. Or he overlooks all the blades and drivers of the land, despite their country. Yeah.
Didn't you say Cole was his own driver? Like he's a flesh eater?
Yes, flesh eaters still have drivers.
Okay.
It's just Cole is much more potent on his own than a normal blade would be.
Alright.
So yeah. Actually never understood. I'll get into why I don't really get why Cole said that, but yeah, Mithra recognizes Van Lenorn as Hayes, but doesn't really say anything. Yeah. Oh, and then it makes a small foreshadowing about a juice. I'm not gonna say that. That would be confusing. A Titan weapon that is being developed. Basically, it's used for mining right now, but if used in war, it would be devastating. It can basically just blow up whatever the hell it wants.
And this whole thing is a flashback to the first Aegis War.
Sorry, no.
Oh no.
When does... We're on Chapter 5. We just started Chapter 5. Masters
All right.
and Slaves.
We're halfway through.
Yes, halfway through. I will try to go faster.
Okay.
Oh jeez, it's 7:20. Anyway, okay. So after the flashback, then it makes a reference to the Titan weapon. So it just, in that, yeah, Jin is still wearing his mask, so he's been wearing that mask for like 500 years now.
Okay.
So yeah, did I miss anything? Yeah, Van Lenorn offers to guide the party to to Indol to meet her driver, because that's their quest anyway. So, yeah, they get right on that. So Van Lenorn is taking them to Indol. Nothing's really holding them in Moradane anymore, not even the military, who is no longer after them, because Morag is just kind of say, hey, don't touch them, because, you know, they're with me now. And she can just sort of do that. Yeah, and on the way to Indol, we stop at Leftheria, just because of currents and events in the Cloud Sea at the moment.
Wait. Thing. What's PQT stand for again?
Poppy QT.
Yeah, Poppy, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. My bad.
No, you're good.
I didn't want to put Poppy's name because whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, that buzz. Okay. I felt that. We stop in Leftheria. Leftheria is Rex's hometown. He grew up in Leftheria. So he guides the party through. It's a pretty savage place. It's made up of multiple titans, the Leftherian archipelago. It goes under the Cloud Sea even, because the titans just decided to sleep that way. I don't know. It's a really unique place to travel across. It's fun. So they get to his hometown, and when we get there, we see a whole bunch of kids jumping off cliffs into the Cloud Sea. That's why Rex is so good at swimming in the Cloud Sea. People push people off cliffs all the time here.
Wait, quick question.
Go ahead.
So, what exactly is the Cloud Sea comprised of? Like
Clouds.
Clouds.
like actual dead-ass
Just
clouds?
cloud, like liquid clouds.
And people are just swimming in clouds.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, like the White Sea in One Piece?
I know, but that's One Piece. It's wacky on purpose, but this is like...
wacky.
I will explain what the Cloud Sea is and why it behaves this way. But that's in Chapter 10.
Alright.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah, we don't really know why the Cloud Sea is like this until then. Oh, hiccup. Okay, so, it is stated in a small little side quest thing, a heart-to-heart that improves affinity between the party members. Nia does not like swimming in the clouds because it is not like swimming in water. It feels like the clouds are wrapping around you. I imagine it feels something like cotton candy if it was like very easy to move through or something. I don't know. Yeah, I will respond to that later. So, yeah. they get to his hometown, and this is clearly not his biological birth parent. His mother, Corinne. She's I'm not sure if she has any kids of her own. I don't think so. But yeah, she took in Rex, and she raised him pretty much, and then Gramps raised him after he left there. It's a pretty quaint town. It's small. It's not exactly wealthy, but they're really happy there. Like, they grow their own stuff. They stay away from wars. It's a really peaceful town.
Why did Rex leave?
To become a salvager. Because
Okay.
his salvage dream... I don't know exactly when he left, but he left long enough to become a really good salvager. Anywho. So, he takes Pyra to see the graves of his parents. He talks to his parents. He doesn't really know them, but, like, I get it's just one of those things. So, yeah. Else happens there? I don't think anything else happens here. Yeah, except Rex's mother, Corinne, she tells Pyra about Rex's past, how he came to Letheria. His parents were just dying as they got there. Don't even know Rex's parents' names. The last thing they were able to get out was Rex's name. So yeah, that's kind of just an oof moment. But
An oof. Kind of cringe.
anyway, Fan Lenorn gets a boat on the other side. They've crossed the Letheria archipelago now. They've passed the turbulence on foot, so they're making some good time. This is when Zeke shows up for the third time. So he's just there as they're about to get onto the boat to Indol. And keep in mind, they're on an archipelago. There are so many ways this could go wrong for Zeke. Considering how the last two went. Morag seems to recognize Zeke, though. She's like, "Oh, hi, you. Yeah, I'm gonna sit this fight out. Mostly because it's raining and Bridget is useless in the rain." But yeah, so Rex is like, "You're not gonna help us fight this idiot?" And Nia has even taken to calling this guy Shellhead, just because. So Nia points out all these issues and all the things that could go wrong with him this time. But this time he seems more confident for whatever reason. And instead of hitting the ground, finally, he decides to get smart. He moves at the speed of lightning, essentially. He incapacitates all four of them, or all three of them in one strike.
Is this another fight you win and then lose in the cutscene?
No. I say incapacitate. He knocks them all down once, and then you fight him in real. And then after you fight him, it doesn't show anything after that. You just win the fight. And he's like, "Ha ha ha, that was a good fight. You're a good person. You're a good driver," and all that. And then it is revealed that Zeke is the Prince of Tantal. This little thing right here. We'll get to Tantal later. But he is currently on a mission from the Praetorium, just like Fan Lenorn is.
What's the Praetorium again?
The Indol, the place on Indol they're trying to get to.
Okay.
So wait, what was he do? Like, he went to Gormat to do stuff, and he's just been traveling back?
He was specifically trying to find the Aegis, which had been popping up.
Oh, okay.
So this was no accident that he had found them multiple times.
Okay.
I'm not sure if we see Turturs again here. It doesn't matter. I mean, it does, but whatever. Anyway, so after that, he's like, "Yep, come aboard the ship." Except he falls off the railing into the Cloud Sea because he's unlucky.
What?
As his blade Pandoria, there's a thing between those two. So
Does he just, like, trip?
he's really unlucky.
Outside of, like, no one pushes him, it's just...
Nope, the railing breaks. He's just that unlucky.
Okay.
So he falls into the Cloud Sea. He's fine, though. He gets on the ship somehow. We don't really see. Pandoria seems very confident that he'll find his way back.
Is this played for laughs, or
yes,
is this, like...
that's just a laugh thing.
Okay.
It's not it doesn't
Yeah,
really
you just
show
fell
up.
into the White Sea. It doesn't matter.
Yes.
The Cloud Sea, sorry.
Cloud Sea. Gosh.
Yeah.
Anyway. So that happens. He's a really powerful driver, so that's a thing.
New ally.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, he wanted to finish this on their first encounter. He wanted to fight them, judge them, and then make conversation with them after their first encounter, but he fell off a cliff and then the boulder. So he's only just getting to what he was setting out to do. So yeah, that happens. They get to Indol, I believe, without a hitch. Yeah. Yeah, after... they get to Indol, and they settle in there pretty nicely. Rex... that's not important, really. Yeah, okay, I'll just mention. Rex asked Pyra more about Adam, because, like, you know, you want to know more about the legendary hero of legends, when you get the chance to. So Pyra reveals that she was not really made until after the Aegis Wars were just finished, so she doesn't remember Adam very much, but Mithra holds Adam in very high regards. All set?
And we are back.
Okay. Okay, so I'm going to zoom through the rest of this. So, after they get to Indol, I am not Yes, they meet with Praetor Amalthus, Cole's driver, and it is revealed then that he is the one that climbed the world tree all those years ago.
Who?
Amalthus.
Amalthus.
The driver of Fanlenorn, Cole, and as is now revealed, Malos.
Okay.
So this is the second Aegis driver. Technically, Rex and him have a little connection there.
And Malos has his own blade, right?
Malos can resonate. He doesn't anymore because Mithra kind of said no, but he can resonate, yes.
Alright.
During the conversation, Mithra confronts Amalthus and Mithra start talking privately, because Amalthus wanted to, and Rex said that was cool. She asks him why he has never allowed anyone to go to Elysium before Rex. And he's just like, well, I didn't want anyone to get up there unless they, like, really had to get up there, and Rex has to get up there now, so I'm going to allow passage.
We don't know why we need to get up there yet.
No, Mithra and Pyra have not said anything yet.
Okay.
We will get into that soon over in Chapter 7, which is coming up faster than you think. The Titan weapon that was mentioned earlier, that was hinted at earlier, that is, I believe it's on this Titan. It's in Temperantia. Yes. Okay, so on the Judicium Titan, which is a separate Titan, it's a smaller Titan. There's no really big things here, except for this Titan weapon. Jin infiltrates this mining area, and he steals this Titan weapon. And he immediately goes on the offensive with it. He makes it look like one country is attacking another. I don't actually know exactly who. I know he is posing as Mor Ardain attacking another country. I don't remember which country it is right now. It's not a very big one. It doesn't matter much. Anyway, so the group goes there, and they're like, oh, because the weapon starts attacking. It's pretty slow. It's a Titan. It looks like a beetle-shaped Titan. It's got a cannon on its back. The cannon uses the ether from the Titan's blood, so it is highly unstable, and very dangerous. They confront Jin, who they try to shut the weapon down, but Jin confronts them instead, and Jin takes off his mask at last. Jin is a blade, as well. So yeah, you're a blade, everyone's a blade.
You're a blade.
Jin is a flesh eater, just like Cole.
Okay.
He's a self-made flesh eater, in a sense. It gets more into his backstory a little later. But, so Jin has a red core crystal on his forehead, and you can see his core crystal on his blade ever since episode 1. I didn't want to really mention the core crystal on his blade because that would... whatever. Even with Fanlenorn there, suppressing Jin as a blade, he still has a ton of power. He's still matching the group, who have now Zeke, the Prince of Tantal with Tantal's most powerful blade, and Morag with the Empire's most powerful blade, and then Mithra, who is outdoors, can use her powers at will. So he is just... he's nuts. So he's holding his own. Shut up.
And we're not at Indol yet.
They went to Indol, and then they got sent over to here to fix this problem. We already talked to Amalthus, remember, who is the...
Right.
Yes.
I'm really sorry. Clarify.
You're fine.
What is the problem we're solving again, and where exactly are we?
The Titan weapon has started attacking a random country because Jin stole it and is trying to start some
What is the
international-
name of the Titan weapon?
It doesn't have a name. It's just
Gotcha.
a Titan, a beetle-shaped Titan with a cannon on its back.
Okay.
I don't think it has a name, at least.
Beautiful.
Anyway, so so when Jin is, he's sort of at a disadvantage here, obviously, but it's been shown before he can travel at very fast speeds. That's how he killed Rex at the beginning without anyone able to do anything. He can travel. We don't really have a set speed at what he can travel at right now. Anyway, so he stabs Hayes, or Fan Lenorn, right in the chest, and she dies. She is a blade, yet she died. Should not have happened at all. But Jin starts to... He collapses. He's clearly sick. It's one of the issues of being a flesh eater. He's not a perfect flesh eater, so he is dying. Oh crap, how does he get out of there? Oh yeah, okay, so Jin runs away while the Titan weapon is disabled by the party, so he makes a clean getaway after killing Fan Lenorn, which is a pretty big blow to Indol, who worshipped her as a goddess, essentially. She was like their... Like, she was worshipped, yeah. Just because she had that sort of goddess aura to her. So there's a funeral for... Okay. After that, yes, we stop the Titan, but the two countries are still... The tension has snapped. The tension that has been hinted at over the entire story has now... It's all-out war, if nothing is done. And that's the end of Chapter 5. So, Chapter 6, Wounds. It starts with a cutscene to Jin's past, when he was awakened by Laura, the old driver of Fan Lenorn, or as she was known then, Hayes, who fought with Adam and Mithra and everything in the Aegis Wars. Laura woke up Jin as a blade when she was very young. Her father had stolen a core crystal from the Empire. Jin is a very powerful blade, even without his flesh eater abilities. So it was a big deal that her father managed to steal it, and when Laura resonated with him instead, her father planned to kill Laura and reawaken the blade later. That didn't go very well because Jin killed her father to protect his driver, and that's just it.
So the father was going to kill his own daughter.
Yes,
to get
because this blade is worth trillions of dollars. He's the jewel, or the old jewel of the country Torna.
And do we know this daughter and father character from anywhere else?
No.
Okay.
Laura is, she was seen because Jin, but no, we don't, she hasn't, yeah.
The currency isn't dollars, is it?
No.
Yeah, you just said that.
I know I said dollars, but it's just gold.
Okay.
It's just
And
I'm just the money points. Okay.
Yeah, money
I just want to make sure I'm understanding.
Okay, so Indol is the answer to the war that is just broken out between Morardain and this other country that I can't remember. Indol has a lot of power throughout the entire world. Amalthus is a very respected man, and what he says goes more than less. So he calls both countries to a ceasefire to explain what happened. Morardain offers their apologies. Oh, sorry, right. The Emperor of Morardain is Niall, who is Morag's little brother. Morag did not want the throne, so she gave it to Niall, who's just like, that kind of person. So he's a good ruler and all, but he sends his apologies. The queen of the other empire is like, well, this is bullshit, you attacked us. And so they are planning a total ceasefire, and yeah, the queen's name is Rakra, but that's not important. Yeah, she doesn't really believe that it was an accidental attack or a setup. She doesn't. She wants to go to war. She is so fed up with Morardain at this point. Okay. Crap. Yeah. Okay. Zeke, who is the Crown Prince of Tantal, was there. He also holds a lot of respect because he's the Crown Prince. So he manages to convince her that, hey, it's just a big misunderstanding. I was there. I fixed this. And if you don't respect what I say, then you may have to deal with Morardain and Tantal. So that just kind of like, yeah, okay, fine. That's cool. Then then it cuts out of the meeting, and Mithra is speculating that Malos is not using his own powers because he has not fully recovered from their war 500 years ago. That's why he's been so quiet among all this time.
Do we know why he's suddenly active?
Because Pyro, it doesn't really say this, but ever since the Cloud Sea currents shifted and they found the ship Pyro was on, that's why he's active now.
Okay.
Because they needed Pyro for something. Something that he can no longer do. There is a state funeral for Fan Lenorn because, as I said, she was just worshipped. And after the initial ceremony, Mithra tells Nia that there was something really weird. Fan Lenorn should not have just died. Even though her core crystal was stabbed, it was not shattered. It should have been fine. She should have just healed up like any other blade. Jin seemed to have known that something was wrong and that the stab would kill her, though. It was definitely a kill shot. And then Mithra also says that Fan Lenorn's core crystal is... Damn it, I need a marker. There's a marker over here somewhere. It is. Okay, so her core crystal is blue, but currently it is in the shape of just a triangle like that. What it used to be was a full diamond. This is only half of her original core crystal, according to Mithra, who saw her 500 years ago, and it's definitely the same blade. There is no mistaking that. So part of her core crystal was seemingly stolen by something or someone.
Part of whose core crystal?
Fan Lenorn,
Okay.
the blade that died.
Alright.
Question.
The one that climbed the world.
All right, so I might be getting ahead of myself here,
Go
but
ahead.
did Fan Lenorn also do the same thing Pyra did with Rex?
That it is mentioned that the rule of thumb, when a blade does that, it is hinted that she could have potentially done that, but the rule of thumb there is that the center of the core crystal is transferred to whoever is the recipient. This is the bottom half. This is definitely some other being manipulating.
Oh,
her
so it's
core
like
crystal.
strictly the core, just
Yes.
the center of it. All right.
Yes. It should have been the center of it, but it was not. Go ahead.
And this Fan Lenorn is the person who climbed the world tree originally.
No. Her driver is the one that did that. Amalthus. The praetor of Indol.
Where is Amalthus right now? Is he still hanging out?
He's still in Indol, or rather, they are all in Indol right now at the peace conference. He is the one that called the ceasefire and explained what happened, that this is all just a big misunderstanding.
Where did he get Fan Lenorn from again?
Fan Lenorn is just a core crystal that, from the Aegis Wars, she's a very valued core crystal, so she's
just a powerful crystal that's around.
Yes, that's around. Yes.
Okay.
Jin's driver used to be her driver.
Gotcha.
But now she has resonated with Amalthus. Anyway, so after that, there's a peace conference, a further peace conference because they need more of those. And Rex and company receive word that Bana is back again. The Nopon Argentum Trade Guild guy, the fat Nopon. He is up to something. He is trying to start a war again because, you thrive in war if you're a merchant, like he is. So they speculate that he's probably going to try and poison the food after a process of elimination of what he can and can't do with his funds. They are completely wrong. They try to stop the poisoning of the food. It's not poisoned. It's just good food. But no, Rosa is back. The giant robot that from before. You remember the artificial blade and everything. So he's in a new upgraded Giga Rosa, but now you have more power, so it's just an easy fight. Bana decides he has to kill the Emperor of Morardain to start war by any means necessary, and he is not going down. So once he's defeated, and his robot is reduced to just uselessness, he's like, yeah, no, you're not taking me, self-destruct. And self-destruct. Anyway, so Bana hits self-destruct. Niall, who is the driver, Niall is a driver. The Emperor of Morardain, Morag's younger brother, is a driver. He has the second jewel of the Empire, not as powerful as Brigid, but still pretty powerful. Aegeon. He's not important. He's just a defensive type blade. He looks like an upgraded common blade. I'll put a picture or something. He looks okay. But anyway.
It's okay.
Niall for whatever reason, he runs out of the defensive barrier that Aegeon puts up and tries to stop the explosion from happening, but gets caught up in it I really don't like this part, but he's dying. Oh
no, this character we just met.
Yeah, it's like Morag is clearly devastated. The usual cold and like calm Morag is reduced to tears right now. So it does got
Who's
that
Morag
going.
again?
The driver of Brigid.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
So she's a she's a strict military type. So seeing her like this is just kind of a scene in and of itself. Nia decides, okay, screw this. I'm not waiting this time. Dromark. She tells Dromark to lead the others away from the area. So he says that there may be enemies over somewhere else, and everyone runs out of the room, leaving Niall dying on the floor. Pretty much dead. Aegeon is returned to his core crystal. So Nia, we don't see exactly what happens, but she heals him. Nia heals her without Dromark there. Dromark is with the group right now. And when everyone gets back, Niall is alive and well. Aegeon returned to his core, so he was on the brink of death, but Nia just kind of said no. Okay, yeah, so Niall gives the Aegeon's core crystal to Brigid, or to Morag, just because, like, just reasons. And then they head off to Tantal. Okay, so they cleared it with Amalthus. He sends them to Tantal with a message from himself to the Tantalian king. I don't know. Tantal king. Damn it. Okay, so what are we actually at right now? I don't know when. Okay, I get it. Got it. So they go to Tantal. Pandoria calls up the Tantal Titan. Pandoria is unique because she can communicate with this giant Titan, which is a turtle-like Titan, kind of important. It spends most of its time submerged in the Cloud Sea, far off from the other Titans, so it's a long trip to get there. But when they do, Zeke tells them that it's kind of cold in there. This is the frozen place that you get to see in this game. It's the Tantal Titan is very old, and its blood flow is this one right here. Its blood flow is very slow, so it can't really sustain much.
Why are we going to Tantal again?
Because the Praetor sent them there. Amalthus sent them there himself. There's something.
Amalthus sent them there, and that's where they're going to learn what they need to know to fight the Metal Guardian to get to the World Tree.
Not necessarily fight the Metal Guardian.
But how to just get to the World Tree.
How to get to the World Tree, yes.
But we got sidetracked by the giant's
Titan weapon. Yes.
Titan weapon.
And then the peace meetings, which led to the Emperor of Morardain almost dying.
Clarifying question again.
Go ahead.
The Titan weapon, was that made by the bad guys?
No. That was meant as a mining tool, but it was just so unstable that it was fit as a weapon.
Gotcha. So that's just the politics of these different Titans, completely unrelated to this major plot.
Yes.
They were just like, this is starting to blow up, we need to sidetrack, take care of this bigger problem.
It was really just to get Fan Lenorn to die and Jin to reveal he was a blade. That was all it was for.
Okay.
Then to get Nia to half reveal to the audience that something's up with her. She's got something going for her.
Oh, wait. Oh, shit.
What did Nia reveal again?
We don't know. We only saw that she healed Niall from the
Oh, and we don't know how Nia healed her.
We don't know how he healed her.
Okay.
How she healed him.
Yep,
okay,
I'm
anyway,
completely on the right page now.
Gotcha.
I know.
So they go to Tantal, they get to the capital, and they are welcomed warmly in this cold area. As they walk in, Morag seems to suspect something. She's like, okay, something's not right here. I recognize these patterns outside the castle. So yeah, then she calls Poppy and Tora over and asks them to do something. We don't know what she asked them yet. But as soon as they get in there, and they give the message from the Praetorium, from Amalthus himself, the Praetor, who holds a lot of political power, mind you, he rips up the message immediately. He is ticked. And then Pyra is restrained. Pyra is taken, and the rest are thrown in prison.
No explanation.
No explanation. We have no idea what is going on.
So imagine Rex is pissed that Pyra's been taken again.
Very ticked. He is hidden this doorway with his sword. The blades and drivers have been put together in the cell because they are so confident that these cells will hold them. They restrict the movement of ether, so the drivers cannot use blades to knock the doors down. This is what Morag had suspected. She's used ether nets before. This is what caught Nia and Dromark way back in chapter 2. So she knew what was happening. She suspected, at least. So she didn't use any arts, and she told Poppy and Tora not to do anything as well. So they didn't use any ether, and they had the ether that had been stored up before they entered the castle, whatever area, palace, the throne room that restricts all ether. And because of words. Okay, so because of that, they have enough ether energy within the cell to launch one art and blow the door down. Not really important after that. They make it through. Zeke was disowned when he was like 15 because he ran away from home. So he's not technically the crown prince anymore, but he's welcomed back by his father because reasons, family.
Oh, this is the place Zeke's the crown prince of?
Yes, sorry, I did not say that very well.
I remember you mentioned.
Yeah, that's
that
why
he was the prince of something.
Yes, I mentioned it, but I didn't mention it right when I got here. I just mentioned that Pandora can control this Titan.
Okay.
His blade can control the Titan. That's why he has this blade. And yeah, it's revealed that he was disowned because he was an disobedient little crap.
But he took the blade with him.
Yes, it had already resonated with him, so there's no point in.
Okay.
Unless you're gonna kill Zeke. So yeah. Zeke decide. Okay, the reason that this is Zeke's line is the royal family is because they are believed to be Adam's bloodline.
Who is
the legendary hero? That Mithra's original driver. In the Aegis Wars 500 years ago. He's the one that sealed Pyra away in the ship.
Okay, but he's not older than the guy who originally climbed the world tree.
No.
He's
Adam
just
is
the
dead.
great hero
Adam
from that
is dead.
world.
He was human. He
Okay.
died after the Aegis Wars sometime. And we will get to Adam a lot more in like in chapter 7. So anyway, yeah, that happens. And they plan to completely destroy the Aegis. They are taking no chances. They use the full power of this Titan, using it just about all of its ether energy, compressing a ton of it into one cannon that will just obliterate Pyra as she's suspended in the air. Mithra says that she could probably call down one shot from the heavens, but Pyra says no, she has a message for these people. And then Zeke's father takes Zeke to the back room, and he's like, okay, yeah, we are not Adam's bloodline. We just grabbed power in the chaos of things because this country needed a ruler. Yeah. And then. Shoot, what did he do that? So Zeke said, yeah, this is dumb, I'm not going to let you do this. So he goes to save his friends, they meet halfway, and then they go down to the cannon room. I'm sorry, I'm skipping through all this because it's not really relevant. I would not normally be doing this. And they save Pyra. They redirect the cannon so it shoots right above them. So all of this ether energy from this already dying Titan is used up.
Do we know why they imprisoned them to begin with?
We are getting right to that.
Okay.
So once they are released, the King of Tantal is just sort of like, you know what, 500 years ago? What does he say? Exactly. Oh, why did he do this to me? Okay, so he reveals that Adam, after the Aegis Wars, after he sealed away Pyra, Adam disappeared from the... No one knows where he went until now. Pyra knows exactly where he went because Adam left her with a message for the Tantalese, the Tantal people. He tells them, essentially, that he settled down over in Leftheria, Rex's homeland. He's the one that started that little village. But he does not have a bloodline. Not confirmed bloodline, at least. And yeah, that was pretty much just his message that he was... yeah. And then after that, it's seen that the cannon blast used so much energy that what they came here for, the Omega Fetter, which controls Ophion, the giant metal serpent that stopped them from getting to the world tree.
Oh, the artifact they need to control him is here?
Is here. This place controls that giant metal serpent.
Okay.
And using all this ether energy really disrupted that thing. So this snake is going to go nuts, the Titan's going to go down and just kill itself because it's going bonkers. So yeah, that's an issue. They have to go fix that. They run down to basically the bottom of Tantal in half an hour. And Pyra's there. She can control this artifact because she used to she used to have this. She used to have control of this artifice, as it's called, the giant robot. Well, technically it was Mithra's control, but
So why did the government of Tantal imprison them again?
they wanted to destroy the Aegis, because I will get to that in just a second.
Okay.
Because Morag knows he's not telling them everything, but they did rip up that note from Amalthus himself.
Yeah.
Which not normally. There's something going on there. So they go fix this, but once they do it, they are confronted with Akos, Petroka, and Mikayla again. The 3 Torna members. Everyone all good on those?
Yeah.
Okay, these 3 are also flesh eaters. Everyone's a blade. Everyone
We're
in
all
Torn.
blades here.
Yeah.
This is fucking Kingdom Hearts all over again.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So they all pull out their unique weapons, but they are defeated by the party, because the party's just strong at this point. And Zeke is not a bad addition. So Zeke is about to knock them all out with one strike, but then Jin shows up and slashes through Zeke. Zeke is traveling at very fast speeds, but Jin is way faster. He almost kills Zeke. Jin remarks that he's the first person to avoid a fatal slash from Jin in over 500 years. They
Stop.
don't call... What? Okay, so... Yeah, Jin is going way faster. They call Zeke Thunderbolt Zeke because he travels at the speed of lightning, just with Pandoria. That's just how good he is. So then Jin decides he reveals his true form, which is the unique abilities are given to blades when they eat human flesh and take it on. Jin's ability is complete control over ice, to the point where he can, well, not just ice, all elements basically. He can control particular element energy, and we'll see that later. So this is the first one in a while that you win the fight, but you lose in the cutscene. Jin can travel at light speed, so no matter how far in the future Rex can predict, his movements are completely limited. He cannot travel at light speed. Mithra calls down a beam of light from the heavens, but he says that the beam is it's just too dense. It can't really travel at light speed. And he just shoos away the blast. He can control the energy bolts that are coming from the sky. So he's really overpowered right now, and he almost kills Rex, threatens to kill Rex if Pyra doesn't hand herself and the Omega Theta over, the artifact they need to control Ophion and get to the World Tree, over to Torna right now. So she has no choice but to do that. And the only reason he doesn't kill Rex is because Pyra threatened to destroy herself if he did, in which case they would be completely lost. They wouldn't get what they needed. So, and then yes, it's told by Malos later that Pyra can send the rest of her core crystal over to Rex, and then she gets like a few minutes of life before she just disappears. And if that were to happen, Rex would be fine on his own. He would get all of her life, and he'd be a normal human again. Yes, but then she would die in a few minutes. So she hasn't done that. So they are, Pyra is kidnapped. Rex is kind of just thrust into a state of despair. Obviously, his blade has been shattered, and he doesn't really know what to do with his life anymore. He is really demoralized by this.
And if he dies, wouldn't that kill Pyra immediately?
That would kill Pyra, pretty much, yeah.
That would be another good reason for Jin not to kill him.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, they should have just leveraged that, honestly.
Yeah, but they couldn't really do anything in that situation. They would have just taken Rex as well, and taken what they needed. Anyway, so Rex, after a slap from Nia and quite the talk, he's like, yep, okay, all good to go. Let's go rescue my girlfriend now. So then the King of Tantal gives Rex a notebook left by Adam himself. Said that he tells Rex, do you really think that any single blade could really match the power of the Aegis? The legendary blade that can destroy the world by themselves if they so choose. That was not Mithra's full power, nor Pyra's. That's what it's hinting at least. So it is said in the Aegis Wars, after the Aegis Wars happened, that the hero Adam was seen carrying a white sword for most of the wars, Mithra's sword, and a red sword at the end, Pyra's sword. But there was also a third sword. So there is some power level that Pyra and Mithra have not hit yet, that Adam deemed too dangerous, and he sealed away after the Aegis Wars were won. So he gives them a notebook, and they don't really know where to start looking for this thing. They have no idea where Adam really went, but Gramps does, apparently. So Gramps was there, known as Azorda back then. Well, still known as Azorda, but called Gramps. He's like, yep, okay, you're good, follow me. I'm gonna take you to the place where Adam sealed away the third sword. So he does that.
Are we still on chapter 6?
Yes.
Oh no!
Wait, crap, no, we just passed to chapter 7.
Okay, alright.
Sorry.
That was still a long chapter 6.
Yeah.
Sorry. That was like 40 minutes, I'm sorry. Okay.
It's cool.
I am gonna have to really zip through this then. Alright, it's not super important, so what happens here? So they get to... The tomb is held in Leftheria. We're over here right now, so we've just got these to go.
Alright.
It's in Leftheria? Oh, because that's the place he found it.
That's the place he... Yes, that's
Yeah,
the
that
place he
makes
found
sense.
it, and Leftheria in another language is called Hero's Rest. So it's just kind of a subtle hint to all that. They go down into a tomb, which kind of acts as like an ether suppression system. And so every blade that enters there starts getting drained of their ether. And eventually, if they stayed there long enough and went deep enough, the blades there would eventually revert to their core crystals and just never be able to reawaken. It would just be dead.
So Adam put this as a trap to stop people from getting this super weapon.
Yes. It was kind of like a test for the next driver of the Aegis. So when they enter there, the only two people that are not affected by this ether-sucking thing is Morag and Rex. Morag just has nothing going on for her. Zeke, it is shown, has part of Pandoria's core crystal in his chest because he was dying a while ago. So Amalthus specializes in flesh eater sort of technology. He's the one that who made Cole to be a flesh eater. We actually don't. Oh wait, no, Cole's not dead yet. Whatever. So shut up. So yeah, Zeke is feeling the effects that blades would normally. Nia is also feeling these effects, and Dromark knows why. No one else does.
Oh, Nia's a...
Yeah. Everyone's a blade. So at the end, they find that there are all these shadow soldiers. The player recognizes this as Adam in a hood using Mithra's sword, just sort of as shadows. Never-ending shadows. Rex is currently using Rock as his main blade because Mithra is not there. But once...
Pissing?
So loud.
Pissing?
Is that someone pissing?
Anyway. So as the fight goes on, Nia realizes, oh crap, okay, we're not enough. I need to reveal that I'm a blade!
What?
Yeah!
Everyone's a blade!
Yes!
Wow, he's got a blade! You idiot, we're all blades!
So wait, I just need to... Do we know now how a blade can also be a driver?
I will get to what. She is a flesh eater.
Wait, Nia?
Nia is a flesh eater.
Okay.
Flesh
Really
eater.
clarifying question from ages ago. What exactly is a flesh eater again?
A flesh eater is a blade that has eaten human flesh in some way, shape, or form and put it into their own body. So they are both human and blade.
Okay.
The only restriction I have seen to what can be a driver and not, no titans and no pure blades. The reason I will get to, well, Malos can be a driver and presumably so can Mithra or Pyra because they're Aegises. I'll get to why they can once we get down here.
So just to clarify, if I am a blade and I eat flesh and become a flesh eater, I can
yes,
then
there's some
create another blade.
You can resonate with a blade, yes.
Yeah, and so that blade can then be fed flesh and then
Let's
resonate
go.
with another
Pretty
blade.
much.
So we can keep this going.
Keep going.
Yes, but it's a terrible and awful and immoral thing to do. Please don't do it.
Let's
I'm gonna do it.
So anyway, the third. So once Nia reveals that she is a blade, flesh eater, she has unbelievable healing abilities. She can heal just about anything, and we will get to the exact extent of this a tiny bit later. Just give me a second. So after that, the shadows disappear, and Adam is able to communicate with Rex. Adam sealed a bit of himself here, it seems, and Rex is able to pick up the true Aegis sword. A silver blade with a green energy that we'll see later, but it turns to dust. It's 500 years old. It poofs. But
Like Fairly Odd Parents. It's just,
Wait, so the big weapon we just went here to get
yes,
turned to dust.
exactly.
Ah,
I know, but Rex seems confident once they get out. He's like, yeah, no, I know where we need to go. We need to go to a rotting titan. That's where Pyra is right now. Yeah, so titans, this one is old enough to have died of some cause, stayed in one place, and is now rotting away. These are the Cliffs of Moritha.
Hold up. Have these been established before in the game?
Have what been?
These Cliffs of Moria?
No.
And how does our main character know this?
He saw a vision that Adam showed him. Basically, okay, so the Aegis, I'm going to go a little ahead of myself here. The Aegis is an incredibly powerful blade because at their full strength, they have complete control over ether, the building block of everything.
Okay.
So they can see through, they can read the path of ether and
Okay.
essentially see
See the
whatever they
future.
want. Yeah. Shulk uses it's the same thing for Shulk. That's why he sees
Yeah.
visions of the future.
Yeah.
He reads the path of the flow of ether.
Yeah.
So he knows where Pyra is because he read where her flow of
Through
ether
the
is.
lens of
Yes.
the ether sword. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah. And Adam is kind of like, yeah, you know, you can handle the Aegis. I'm gonna give you the third sword now. You are her true driver. That's essential. And I think that is not okay. That's not quite it. I'm gonna zip through 8 and 9 really quickly. I think. Okay, shut up. Okay, so they get to the rotting titan. Pyra is there. Malos is also there. He takes off his chest covering, which is covering his Aegis crystal, his Aegis core crystal. It's half gone. Mithras shattered it almost completely during the Aegis Wars. I have no idea how he is alive, but he is. Holy crap. So he starts stealing away Pyra's memories. Memories made of essentially by stealing her memories and her energy, he can restore himself to his former glory. And he does this before they get there. So Pyra is just kind of a lump of ether right now. Completely useless and as dead as an Aegis can get. The party gets there pretty easily. Yeah. There's they just take a Titan ship there. Nothing to it, really. They fight Malos, who has the power to completely destroy anything just with a swish of his sword. Giant explosion, nothing can survive it. Nia, however, can protect anything made of ether. Humans and blade weapons, and blades themselves. So, Malos' abilities are kind of null and void against her. So she defeats Malos by using this terrifying power, which is basically she takes the ether in his own body and turns it against him, like cancer except on mega steroids. So he kind of just implodes.
Wait, we killed him?
You can't. No, he's not dead, but he falls off a cliff and hits the ledge. He's out of commission. He just blew up. Kind of.
And we're on chapter
7. The fear she carries.
Okay.
Okay. And once they get there, they meet Jin again. Jin had already handed their asses to them. Jin can completely stop Nia's abilities just because he can control ether in the air. And Malos walks up. He's fine. He just climbed back up the cliff. He regenerates. He's an Aegis.
Okay.
So it's a terrifying power, but it really didn't do anything against Malos. And now Jin can just say no to it. But Rex seems fairly confident for whatever reason.
He's an anime character.
Yes, he knows exactly what he has to do. He starts talking with Pyra and Mithra. We finally get the reason that Pyra and Mithra want to climb the world tree. They were fed up with existence, and they can't die, essentially. They wanted to climb the world tree to find the architect, their father, and beg him to let them die. That's the reason.
So this whole thing is a really long suicide wish.
Yes.
Dude, sometimes
Mood.
I can relate to this 100%.
Just to put in perspective, this is a 500 plus year old blade that has seen her friends and family die in front of her in the horrors of war and killed millions on her own in the attempt to save said millions.
Oh no, I don't doubt that there's a good reason for this. I'm just saying that I'm envious that they can just walk up to God and ask, "What are you going with
They
this?"
can't. That's the whole point of this story. They can't die.
No, what I'm saying is that like they can just walk up to God and tell them and ask him, "Where are you going with this shit?"
What are you doing?
What the fuck is going on?
But like
now?
the evil ethereal, the evil
Malos.
Malos. Do we know what he wants yet?
He just wants to destroy the world. That's
Why are
all
we
he
stopping
wants.
him? Would that? Because that would kill you too if he destroyed the world, right?
She wants to protect the world and then end herself. She doesn't want the world to end.
Okay.
Prime directive.
Yes.
Not the
I will get
prime
into
directive,
why this
but-
is a little later. It is revealed.
Do we find this out now, or are you just giving us advance warning?
No, I'm giving you advance warning. That
Okay.
it will be revealed why. And I've skipped over something that foreshadowed it, but you wouldn't get that from there.
Okay.
Okay, so Rex, while fighting, is barely holding his own against these two super demigods and whatnot. And he's just kind of like, yeah, I'm not going to abandon you, Pyra and Mithra. I'm going to take you to the World Tree. That's because that's my mission. And, you know, anime. So, yeah, after that, Mithra and Pyra wake up. Except this time in their third form, which is both of them together. It doesn't have a set name, but the real name of Pyra and Mithra, their Aegis name, essentially, is Numa. So I refer to them as Numa. Okay.
Okay.
So she's got this very futuristic feel to her. And the power of Numa is essentially she can change the laws of the land. She can change the physics of whatever she wants.
Oh.
And and because of that, she is able to match Jin's light speed and overpower him completely.
What triggered this final evolution?
The release of the third sword in the tomb that Rex found, and Rex himself believing in the Aegis in Pyra and Mithra.
Okay.
So just, yeah. And that's where Chapter 7... Oh, not quite. So he defeats Jin. He does not kill him, though. He's like, I just want to get to the World Tree. You're in my way. I'm going to move you out of the way. I'm not going to kill you, though. So, and then they fall to the ground. Then, sorry, I skipped one part. The robot that has been firing the arrows of light down from the sky for Mithra this entire time, it's a robot called Siren. A humanoid with a giant cannon that it can collapse. And now Malos has the Omega Fetter, so he controls Ophion, the giant snake. So though it turns into a mecha anime for a bit, they have a fight, the cliff collapses, and they fall into the land of Moratha.
What do they use to fight Ophion again?
Siren, the giant robot that has been firing the beams of pure energy down for Mithra the entire story.
Where is he located?
Usually in space, orbiting the planet, and just following Mithra.
What built him?
We will get to that. That is coming up once we hit. And this is
okay.
That's where Chapter 7 ends. World Tree now.
Whoa, Professor! You never showed us what was under the sticky notes.
We're not there yet.
Oh, okay.
I will show you that.
Okay.
So they fall to the land of Moratha. Rex is alone, but he has the Master Driver ability now. Essentially, he can change the resonance of any blade, and any blade can act like they resonated with him instead of whoever their real driver is. So if he wanted to fight with Brigid, who is resonated with Morag, he can just kind of say, yeah, you're resonating with me for a bit now. Yeah, he could just sort of do that. Numa has the Pyra and Mithra respectively now, has the data of every blade on Allrest at the moment. She
That's
can
like
just,
hundreds.
Yeah, hundreds of thousands, easily. She can override just any of these blades, except for Malos, who is also an Aegis. So they fall and they find Jin there. He's severely weakened. He can't really fight. And there's this zombie-like creature that's fighting. That's gonna kill him. They decide to save him because Rex is a good person.
Where is this happening again?
In the lands of Moritha, under the rotting Titan.
We're still in Moritha.
Yes, no human has ever gotten here before. It's a modern city that is completely destroyed because of some warfare.
Didn't you mention that like Adam climbed the world tree before?
No, not Adam. Malthus.
Malthus. He's not a human though, is he?
He's not human.
Okay.
No, he's like 500 plus years old.
Oh, is he gear also?
A blade.
He's not a
I mean
blade.
blade. Gear. Oh,
He's not a blade, but he is something. I'll get to that. Okay.
Dude, you better have some good answers.
I
at the
have
end of
great
this.
answers, I promise.
All right, let's get
After
to
all
it.
this time. Okay, so this Moritha place is kind of just a very skip through it kind of place. This is the sticky nose.
Whoa! That's
yeah.
a circle.
It's a circle. It's a never-ending cycle that it's basically how the architect ordained this world to be. So he sent the Titans down from Elysium with no regards for human. He didn't really expect humans to come back, it seems. Damn it, that is completely wrong.
Oh
Well,
no.
not completely wrong, but
Okay.
yeah, okay,
Correct.
so Titans give core crystals. Drivers give those core crystals the form of blades. The blades eventually return to the Cloud Sea and become Titans, which give birth to... It's just a never-ending cycle of blades and Titans, land and humans and whatnot. And no one's really aware of this anymore.
So the Cloud Sea is made up of blades,
No.
or like aether, or some part of the blade.
We don't know what it is yet,
Okay.
but it is a special substance. Okay, so other than that, and these zombie-like things that they were fighting, they're humans of an age long past. Like, our age almost. I will get to exactly what I mean in a bit. After that, so they get to the top of the world not the top. They get to the base of the world tree. Because they are under the Cloud Sea right now, so they are at the roots of the world tree, lower than anyone has ever gone before.
And we've finally gotten rid of this mech serpent.
Yes, the serpent that was plaguing them.
With the mech that just came out of nowhere from space that's been giving the good
Mithra.
guy ether power.
Yes.
Okay.
That is where Mithra drew her power. That's why, I'm not sure if you remember way back here, when Akos couldn't stop the ether flow between Mithra and Rex, Malos said she's not drawing from the ether. She was drawing it from Siren, a giant robot. Essentially. I'll get into that. So we're at the World Tree right now. So they reunite with everyone eventually after fighting so many zombies. And Jin is rescued by the all-metal ship, the not Titan ship that is still
Yep.
there. That's a Tornin ship. Mikayla is still one of the flesh eaters that they saw earlier. He comes and rescues Jin, and they do not engage Rex and company this time, though. Jin just tells them to shove off. It's a race to the World Tree now. And they've got a ship. So that's an issue. But, so yeah, when they reunite, Mithra and Poppy make a promise. When Poppy makes Mithra a promise that if Poppy was ever mass-produced and became evil, like they were like Torna was planning to do, that Mithra would destroy all the artificial blades. That's Mithra. That is Mithra's promise to Poppy, and Mithra says, "I'll just get your promise later for something." That's important. And then it cuts to a flashback of Jin's past. After the Aegis Wars, when Mithra was sealed away by Adam, there was a massacre, a complete genocide of Tornins. Malthus is behind this.
What? Tornins again?
Tornins, they're just a people. Torna is one of the Titans that fell in the Aegis Wars. Not on here, because
Okay.
it's long dead. Yes, okay. So, Amalthus ordered a complete genocide. This is where Jin's driver died. This is why Fan Lenorn was a core crystal. And Jin did not become a core crystal. Jin became a flesh eater, effectively killing Laura, his driver, and Hayes' driver. So Hayes became a core crystal again for Amalthus to use. Jin became an almost immortal killing machine.
2 questions.
Go ahead. Quick.
1, why did the good guys order this genocide?
Amalthus is not a good guy.
Oh shit. Also,
Yeah.
what is a core crystal?
The thing.
The thing.
Those things.
The thing.
Oh,
thing.
gotcha. Okay.
Tyler.
Blades.
This thing, guys, that blue thing.
Yeah, the thing that blades come from.
My bad.
Gems.
Okay, I'm
Gems.
good now.
Alright, then it cuts over to Morardane, Morag's little brother, the emperor of the country. And Morardane, it's a humanoid titan. Its city is on its shoulder. This titan is really old. It is so close to death. They are evacuating the main city, kind of. It's not going to last for another month. It's not going to last for even a few more months. It's going to go under soon. But yeah, that's all that's really. When do they? Yes, they reach the roots of the world tree, and do you remember when I mentioned the cloud fall that kind of separated the cloud sea and the world tree?
Yeah.
That entire thing was created by the metal serpent Ophion, and without Ophion there to suspend it, it's no longer there. It's just gone. So yeah, there's nothing. Yes. Okay. And as it turns out, the world tree is not, in fact, completely organic. It is a giant metal machine, or giant machine that is surrounded by an organic plant life to disguise itself as a tree. And there's an elevator that Numa knows exactly where it. Well, Pyra and Mithra know where it is. For whatever reason, they can control it.
But Pyra and Mithra are with the bad guys right now. They're captured.
What? Okay. No.
No, they're good now.
No. After they fell into the land of Moritha, that was after they had defeated Jin and Malos.
Oh, okay. They're okay.
Yeah. Malos got away. He did not fall into Moritha, but Jin did. So Jin was rescued by his crewmates, and now it's a race to the top of the world tree.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay. So yeah, Pyra can control this elevator that takes him right to the top of the world tree. Essentially. Almost. Shit. No, I skipped an entire part. Whatever. Here we go. Rain. Chapter 9.
Woo! Woo!
Rain time.
Rain. It's rain tame.
It's rain.
Shit, I'm wrong. I'm sorry. Almost. Okay, so it brings them to the middle of the world tree, where 3 titans are completely breaking their normal course around they basically circle the world tree, just like planets orbit the sun. But titans are just moving towards the world tree now for whatever reason.
Wait, so just to clarify, or I guess not to clarify, but the world tree is like a gigantic tree, right?
Yes.
How big is it? Would you describe it? Is it planet-sized?
No, not quite planet-sized. I'd say Bionis-sized.
Oh, that's big.
Yeah, it's big.
I would consider that
That's not
planet-sized.
planet-sized.
Okay, but that's still pretty big.
I'd say... I don't want to say continent-sized.
That Bionis is pretty big. I'd say that's
I
good.
know what you're thinking of, and I overestimated its size as well. It is not as big as you quite think.
Bionis? I mean,
Yeah.
like, it's pretty big.
It's
and
pretty big.
cut. Okay, go.
Okay, so they get to the middle of the world tree. Amalthus has led the entire Indol Titan, which is kind of like a bird. It has flown halfway up the world tree. It has never reached heights like this before. But Amalthus is forcing the Titan to do this. And it's essentially trying to blow down the Torna ship that has Jin, Malos, and the rest of Torna in it.
So it sounds like Amalthus is being a good guy.
No. I mean, okay.
No.
Blowing down Torna, yes, that's probably a good thing in and of itself. But his motives are really just not great. He's just kind of...
Do we know that yet?
It's hinted. We don't know exactly what he wants yet, though.
Okay.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
stop.
It's right here, actually, that your answer is question. Okay, so Jin told Rex about about Amalthus's backstory when they were in the lands of Moritha together alone. Just because Jin is really one of the only ones that knows this at this point. And Rex begins to question why he's noticed certain things. He has noticed that talking to Amalthus feels like talking to Malos. Feels very similar for whatever reason. And then he begins to realize that in Amalthus' story, Amalthus hates humans. Not just humans, he hates everything, kind of. He wants to destroy the world.
You got black pilled.
Yeah. So Amalthus raises the Titan and he tries to blow down the Torna warship. But he also tells Rex, he gives Rex a direct order. Blow down the Titan warship, Torna warship, with the Aegis's power. Rex refuses because he just wants to get to the top of the world tree. So, Amalthus reveals that he has the bottom half of Hayes' core crystal on his forehead.
Who's Hayes again?
Fan Lenorn, the blade that died by Jin's hand.
Okay, that makes sense, because Fanelorn was his... Okay.
Was his blade. So he took half her core crystal because her power is invaluable. He suppresses everyone there who's a blade. So Rex and Morag are pretty much the only ones unaffected by this. And he takes control of Siren, the artifice that Mithra uses to shoot things.
From space.
Yes, from space. Yeah, so he does that, and Mithra resists, and he doesn't have perfect control of Siren right now. But, yeah, he has more control than Rex does right now. But then there's this inspirational moment. You're the master driver, Rex. You have every power he has, and more. So Rex kind of just breaks the connection he has. It's a moment. And then the rest of the Titans start showing up. I believe the more Ardain Titan, the one that is already dying of very low amounts of ether, I think that shows up next, and then the Tantal Titan shows up next, the turtle, that Zeke is the crown prince of, the cold one. Other than that, I don't think it's a big battlefield, but yeah. So
well, who's battling right now?
It's basically, what's his name? Amalthus is controlling all these Titans. So it's Amalthus versus Torna. Malos and Jin and whatnot.
Okay, so no one cares about Rex right now. Malos and...
Amalthus is trying to get control of Rex to destroy the Torna ship, because that's what he wants.
Okay.
But, yeah, no one really cares about Rex at the moment. Although, Indol is now made a hostile territory, you cannot travel there anymore.
Gotcha.
So yeah. Yeah, but they realize that, okay, people are dying right now, we need to stop this. How is he controlling these Titans? They realize that on Indol, when one of the pillars in the city, this massive pillar, is destroyed, his control lessens over the Titans. So he decides with Numa, he's going to slow time to the point where it looks like the Titans are standing still and blow these pillars to just completely destroy them. So they do that quickly, and then they ascend using an elevator to as high as it'll take them on the World Tree. Jin and Malos are already there. They escaped a while ago, the ship, and the ship has been keeping 3 giant Titans busy. It's a very powerful ship, and it can't be suppressed by Amalthus or controlled because it's not Titan-based. So that was one of the bigger things. The pilot of the ship, Mikayla, he's one of the flesh eaters that I mentioned earlier. They defeated him along with Patrokonakos before Jin on the Ice Titan just sort of half killed everyone. So yeah, Mikayla is the only one on the ship left. He is piloting it. He is thought to be a flesh eater, so he should be able to be suppressed by Amalthus' power, but he is not. The reason for this is he is a blade eater. Much like Amalthus, he's a human that took a blade core crystal into himself, rather than a blade who took human flesh. There's a difference, apparently. So, yeah, that's a thing. Not much more on blade eaters after that. So, yeah, that's we're on chapter 9 now. Malos and Jin are this close to the top of the World Tree. They are very close to their end goal, meeting the Architect, ending him, and then destroying the world. I'm not sure if it's been confirmed yet, but it's going to be confirmed very soon, if not already. Malos is after the ultimate artifice, Ion. Kind of like Siren, except, again, on steroids. It has the power to just eliminate everything in the world.
Is Ion also in space?
Kind of. It's on the top of the World Tree, which is shown to be a space station.
Okay, so it's on the top of the World Tree with the artifact maker.
Yes, with the artifice maker, the world maker, the architect.
Okay.
But Jin, once they get to the top, he's like, I'm being told to wait. I have to wait here. Laura is calling me, my old driver. He had a thing for Laura. They were a thing. It's just a hallucination, really, but he has her heart within his chest, so it stands to logic that she is still living on in him. just because soul and everything. So he waits for Rex and company. And when they arrive, he sort of tries to stop them. His heart is not really into it. And he confirms like what the Aegis is power to the player. It's just the power to create what you imagine, essentially. Do whatever you want with the world. It's incredible. Yeah, so they defeat Jin pretty easily because he's on the cusp of death. He's dying. He can hardly move at this point, honestly. So yeah, they defeat him, and then Patroka and Akos appear, the two flesh eaters in Torna, and they shoo away Rex as he's just kind of making peace with Jin. They take it the wrong way. So they ask Nia to heal Jin because he's dying, and she says, yeah, sure, it's only going to be temporary, but cool. And then they try to go run and get his rejuvenation capsule, which has been keeping him alive for like 500 years, despite him being an unstable flesh eater. It's shown a couple times before this, but it's not important. But before they can do that, Patroka is killed. Her core crystal is ripped out of her chest, and she is just killed.
Alright, and we're back.
Okay. Alright, so Amalthus comes out of the floor. He rips a hole through this giant metal structure, and he's just this weird, giant, bigger than the Hulk humanoid sort of thing, with 6 tentacles behind him.
Nanomachine, son?
Sorry?
Nanomachine, son?
I have no idea what that is.
No.
I'm sorry.
Play Metal Gear
Do we know what Amalthus wants
You didn't
yet?
even play Metal Gear Revengeance.
You never played Metal Gear Revenge.
Shush!
You don't need to play Metal Gear Revengeance.
Demerit!
Yes. Okay, so when this happens, Patroka's killed. Akos and Patroka are brother and sister, in a sense. They think of themselves as that. Akos more so than Patroka, but whatever. So Akos gets angry. He gets killed too. His core crystal is ripped out of his chest. Amalthus has been collecting core crystals for the past 500 years. That's why he committed the genocide. He just wanted to collect core crystals, much like Torna was doing, but for completely different reasons. Amalthus just wanted to become a god, essentially, and meet the Architect. He's obsessed with the Architect at this point. He needs to know why he exists. He needs to know why life exists in general, because his mother died when he was younger, and he's just been...
Can I clarify?
Go ahead.
Okay, so Amalthus wants to get to the Architect because he wants to know the meaning of life.
Essentially, but he kind of wants to destroy the world at the same time.
Okay, not Malachi. What's the evil's name?
Malos.
Malos wants to get to the World Tree because he wants to get the object that lets you destroy the universe.
And destroy he wants to kill the Architect, get that artifice, and then destroy the world.
The good guy ethereal crystal.
The good Aegis?
The good Aegis.
Pyra and Mithra and Numa?
Pyra, Mithra, Numa. They just want to die.
That was their purpose. Now they are going for the sake of Rex. It's kind of reversed roles now. Now she's taking him to the World Tree. Rex wants to know why the Architect created life, essentially.
When did Rex decide that he wanted to see the Architect?
He's wanted to see the Architect since before he became a salvager. That's been his sort... He wants to find Elysium so that humans don't have to fight over land like this.
Okay.
Essentially, Rex is trying to stop a war that is inevitably coming.
Gotcha.
Any other?
Why do they want to destroy the world?
Malos is just evil. Oh, okay, sorry. Alright, I don't know if this has been confirmed yet in the game, but because Malos is the blade of Amalthus, Amalthus wants to destroy the world. Malos just sort of inherited that.
So why does Amalthus want to destroy the
He
world?
hates the world. He
He's
saw his
a-
mother
The
die.
world sucks.
Yeah, the world sucks in his eyes. He's just... Humans are awful. They need to be extinguished. No question.
Yeah, I can see that.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
He's got a good point.
why is
Malos
Amalthus
just-
stopping Malos? Why did he want to shoot down Malos' ship?
Yeah, I don't know.
We're almost at the end, guys. Let him
Come on,
talk.
let's go.
Yes, let me talk. Okay. Okay, so Amalthus views himself as an agent of the Architect's will. This is why Malos believes that the Architect Malos believes that the Architect created the Aegises to wipe out the world. No other reason. That's his purpose in life. He only believes that because Amalthus believes that he is the one that is supposed to destroy the world. That is his purpose in life. And so Malos just inherited that from Amalthus. So yeah, Amalthus kind of fuses with the World Tree, becoming this unstoppable thing that Numa is kind of not helpless against, but it's not it's not looking good for them. Jin sacrifices himself using all of his abilities to freeze Amalthus over, and Amalthus is dead. His mother calls him from the afterlife, and he just finds peace. So after that, they take the elevator the rest of the way to the top of the world tree. They are in space now. They see 3 siren units outside, 3 of the robots that Mithra uses, raining down fire upon the Titans. There's nothing they can really do about that, so they run, and they find Elysium. They find the same hill that Rex and Pyra talked together on in the first chapter. Except everything is barren and dust now. Everything has been destroyed.
Wait, were they implied to have been... Oh, no, because she had memories of Elysium.
She had memories of Elysium, but this is just what happened over the course of millions of years. It's just a barren wasteland now. There's nothing left for humanity in Elysium. So Rex kind of just loses hope right then, but there is still the church bell that is coming from somewhere in this Elysium. So they follow that to an old church. They go underground to a place that's still holding up very well. It's still very new, power running and everything. After a short little look into everyone's minds about their hopes or about their doubts and fears, they finally meet the architect. The architect. Okay, this may be. Is this the? No, this is not the last chapter. I don't think. Huh.
Are we still on Rain?
Yeah.
Yes, but chapter 10 is super short. Okay, so the architect's name is Klaus. He is a human from our era, essentially.
Wait, when you say our era, you mean now in real life, or
not necessarily now, but from this universe, from planet Earth.
Okay.
They are not on Earth currently because
Silicon Valley Tech Bro clause.
All right.
Sure, shut up. So yes, not Amalthus. The architect is yes, I was just looking at your deepest fears and whatnot, and I was not displeased with what I found. I am pleased with where humanity has become. I had given up hope before this, but then you came, Rex, and you bonded with Numa. He refers to Pyra and Mithra as Numa, the first. He's the only one. This is where her name is revealed. Then, this is where we learn about the Cloud Sea and the cycle of Titans and humans. Essentially, he had been a vain human scientist in a conflict with hundreds of siren units against a whole bunch of little smaller artifices. Billions died in this conflict in Klaus's original universe. But Klaus, they had discovered something they called the conduit.
Keep going.
Okay. The conduit was it was a gateway to other dimensions and a source of infinite energy, and they used it as such. That's why Siren is so powerful. It has an infinite battery, basically. That's what makes the Aegis so powerful, because the Aegises, they draw from the conduit's power, rather than blades, which just use ether energy. Now,
that's cool.
Have we explained what ether energy is yet?
Yeah.
It's just natural energy,
Mana.
natural reoccurring energy.
So the ether and the conduit are completely different.
Completely
things.
different.
Yeah.
Okay.
Question.
If I'm remembering correctly from the first game, isn't Klaus Zanza?
Yes.
What?
Yes. Okay, so
That's awesome.
we realize this when Klaus is finally shown full body. Half of his body is gone. Essentially, it's just a black hole in its place, and he tells them that half of his body was sent to another dimension. We know this as the Bionis. Zanza is the other half of Klaus that we see here. So that's about as powerful. How powerful Klaus is in this universe.
He could just literally be cut in half and still survive.
He was.
He is.
Okay, so, shoot. So he tells them that after he destroyed his universe, he obliterated the entire universe with a click of a button, because he used the conduit's energy to try and create a new universe, one he saw more ideal. This created several new universes, including Shulk's universe and this universe. We are hinted at that there is more. But,
Sequels.
yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, shoot, how should I do this? So, to create, He wanted to recreate humanity without the flaws that he saw. But he had also learned, he knew that what he had done was very wrong. He didn't want that to happen again. So, he created the Cloud Sea over the ruins of his universe. So that would recreate... The Cloud Sea is a rejuvenated... sort of renewal sort of field. It will regenerate everything that it saw, essentially. So, over time, he could rebuild humanity. But he also knew that someone like him may appear. So he decided to make the Blades to stop someone like him from destroying the universe again.
But wouldn't that give people like him the opportunity to get more power?
Yes, but it would also give other people power to stop them, essentially. That he saw a flaw in this as well. So he created the final security measure, the Trinity processor. Pneuma, Ontos, and Logos. Okay, Pneuma is the Aegis that we know.
Yep.
Rex is. Logos is Malos. That's his real name.
Okay.
That was what he was named. Ontos was lost to space and time sometime way before Amalthus ever climbed the world tree and took the other two. So he didn't the Aegises are essentially processing units. They weren't supposed to be blades, essentially. But they were. They turned out to be blades, in a sense.
Wait, processing units?
They were computer AI.
Oh, okay.
They were supposed to process everything that the blades took in and see what was happening. They were supposed to control everything. That's what makes them so powerful, because they are essentially all of the blades' information circulating through one blade.
Okay.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that's why they have the power to destroy the world. I will say later what happened to Ontos, though. We know what happened to him. But basically, Rex doesn't get a direct answer as to why the architect created everyone, but he seems happy with what answer he got. Apparently their answers match. We don't get what his answer was, not necessarily. You can infer it. From then on, I'm pretty sure that is it. Yes, and then it's a flashback to the scene that we see in the first Xenoblade Chronicles, if you played that through, where Klaus destroys the universe and the Bionis and the Mechonis come up, except this time from the perspective of all rest. The Titans popping up and everything. So yeah, that's that. So basically, they just go and they defeat Malos using, even though he is using the Artifice Ion. It's surprisingly easy considering how powerful that Artifice is, but Pneuma is the Master Blade. She outperforms in everything. They just destroy the Artifice, essentially, and they kill Malos. Malos, this time, his core crystal is cracked, but whatever reason, this time it kills him. So he's completely dead, and yeah, peace is restored. Except it's not, because Klaus told Rex before they left that he doesn't have much time. And then we get one line from the perspective of the black hole part of Klaus. Today we use our power to fell a god and then seize our destiny. It's Shulk's voice. So this is happening at the exact same time as Shulk is fighting Zanza in the first one. That's the only crossover we really get. Because Shulk killed Zanza, he completely eliminated Zanza's being. You have a question?
No, I'm listening.
Okay.
This is fucking my mind.
And because of that, Klaus now disappears. Because Klaus disappears, the conduit disappears, which eliminates all the power of the World Tree, and Pneuma is essentially powerless now. So the World Tree starts collapsing. And the impact...
Now, the World Tree was a space elevator, right?
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
A space station. It had an entire ring around the planet. Okay, so the World Tree starts collapsing. It is big enough that it will destroy any and all Titans on the surface, which are right next to the World Tree right now, mind you. So everyone on All Rest is going to die if they don't do something about this. This is the first time that Pneuma, Pyra, or Mithra, whichever you call them, lies to Rex. She tells the crew that they can get to the middle of the World Tree, or just a few floors down, rather. They can fire off the remains of the World Tree into space, no problem. Then they go home, all safe and sound. This is not the case, however. There is no rocket boosters on the world tree.
Oh, surprise.
Yeah. But instead, so she sends them to, okay, so first off, she tells Azurda and Poppy, Azurda is Gramps, that she needs their help. She kind of, not blackmail or anything. She tells Poppy, okay, you promised to help me. This is your promise. It's gonna hurt. But she tells Poppy not to help Rex. We don't really know this until after, but I'm saying it now. And then she touches Gramps' core crystal. He's got a tiny little core crystal on his fuzzy little being. So she touches that, and he's like, yep, cool, okay, yeah, this is gonna hurt. So yeah, they get down, and she sent them to a ship port. She wants them to escape while she blows up the world tree with the last of Ion's power. This is basically self-destruct, though. So Numa is gonna die if she does this.
She finally gets her wish.
Essentially, yeah. But not really as she wants it. Rex really doesn't want this.
Dude, this is gonna blow up the world.
No, it's only gonna blow up the world tree.
Oh, so that's gonna save everyone. That's
yes,
good.
it's gonna save everyone. This is good.
Okay.
No, this is not what Numa would have wanted, but she knows it's the only way. She has run through every other possibility. It's kind of just inferred because she can do that now. Okay, so she does that. Rex is kind of just destroyed by this. But eventually he gets up. They go into a ship. They shoot off. But Numa, as stated earlier, she sends the rest of her core crystal to Rex so he can survive on his own now. She has a few minutes left of life. She uses the last of Ion power, blows up the world tree. Klaus, back to Klaus. He's not totally gone yet. He gives the world one last chance to kind of reset. It's called the last gift, as he puts it. And so he kind of just takes over the Titans and, well, it's one second. Okay, so the ship takes off. The world tree blows up. They're not far enough yet. They're not quite far enough. This is a massive explosion of gargantuan proportions. So it would have blown up. They would have just kind of fallen to their death because the ship they were in just fell apart just because of the force. But Numa had reset Gramps' core crystal, so he turns into a dragon again and saves everyone. And then, as it turns out, Klaus had made all of the Titans. He had made the Cloud Sea vanish. He had taken away the Cloud Sea. He had given up on that plan to restore humanity. But the ruins of Moritha, the old city of man that had been destroyed quite a long time ago, is still there. So once they pass most of that, they find just fresh land. There's land there. Not Titan or anything. The Titans join with the land. They're about the size of small islands compared to this. I'd assume it's like a continent level sort of area. But I don't know. And Rex speculates this is what Elysium really was. Elysium was under us the entire time. This was the answer to all of our problems. And now that we've met that, that's great. So all the Titans are dead. And, yeah, Pyra and Mithra, this is the part I don't like. I think it would have been great to end here, using Pyra's and Mithra's sacrifice. But no.
Are we still in Chapter 9?
No, this is the end. This is the end.
Okay.
The end game. I didn't really mean.
The end game.
Yes. Shush.
And thus boy met girl.
Yes, that's the end of how it ends is Klaus restoring everything. His final gift before he disappeared was restoring Pyra and Mithra. Essentially, their core crystal.
You just got shadowed.
Let him continue.
Okay.
So what's done?
So when she had sent the core crystal to Rex, it had sort of just turned black and then fallen to the ground. He kept it just because, we need it. But once Klaus's gift touched, it just came down in like fairy dust or whatever. It touched the core crystal and revived both of them. This time they're not sharing one body, so I guess it ends in a harem. And that's it. That is the Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Wait, so the boy meeting the girl is Pyra and Mithra becoming real people and Rex meeting them.
Essentially, yeah.
Like Tron.
So it should be called Boy Met Girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's that. That took so long.
Shaka University happily presented Xenoblade 2, everyone.
And I'm late to
I am tired and I want to go to bed.
I want to go home.
Oh my goodness.